Rispondi correttissimo, visto? João, consegues me ouvir?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Bienvenue. Welcome back to Le Mans and the second half of today's racing at the Le Mans, the Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy here. 1,368 metres of track, 318 drivers, myself, Henry Baudet, and Eric Chellis, to bring us the last 9 heat races of the event. Eric, this morning was very competitive. This afternoon is when the real pressure begins to build.
Oui, bonjour Henry, rebonjour même, puisque nous étions déjà ensemble ce matin. C'est vrai que ce matin, on a assisté à des très très belles courses. Il y avait déjà un petit peu de rythme et de bagarre. On a eu aussi quelques rebondissements, quelques petites frayeurs également. Heureusement, tout est rentré dans l'ordre. Et cet après-midi, on s'attend évidemment à du spectacle encore plus enlevé, parce que la pression monte. Ce sont les dernières manches de qualification avant les finales de demain. Et vous le savez, il y a 318 pilotes au rendez-vous de ce week-end ici pour aller chercher les 6 tickets de le ticket de chaque catégorie, 6 tickets à aller chercher pour la grande finale qui aura lieu au mois d'octobre en Italie. Donc évidemment que la pression va encore monter d'un cran, tout comme la chaleur.
But of course, it's not just myself and Eric Sellis who will be bringing you the action. As always, down in the pit lane, grabbing words with the great and the good of this event, it is Jen Wade, who is standing there on camera. Jen, who is your first victim?
I mean, it's been a good weekend so far, also in the qualifying. So close, but really cool to see you on the grid here in Le Mans.
Yeah, it is. The qualifying was very well, so hopefully this heat will go as good as the qualifying. So.
Okay, now tell me, what is it like? Here we are, we're on the grid, we're in Le Mans. There's a lot of men here. Okay, now I guess you don't even think about that.
No, it's usual when you're karting as a girl. It's most of the times there are a lot of men. Yeah. So yeah, it's normal.
It is normal. We don't notice it really because it is so normal. But a lot of people are really always asking, what's it like to be a girl racing really in a men's sport? It's one of the few sports where we race together or we play together. We compete together.
Yeah, that's true. Most of the people don't understand it's mixed. But yeah, in the karting, it was separated. It was really boring. So it's fun to drive with the boys, and they are fast, so they push you further.
Yeah, I think so. most of the girls watching are going to really agree with what you said. It pushes you further. You want to be competitive, but you look at them as competitors, as rivals, as race drivers. How difficult is it? You're in the two-speed DD2 class, so we're going to say the highest, the strongest. You got front brakes. How do you prepare for this? Because you're tall and you're slim.
Yeah, that's true. Back home, it's also doing fitness and preparing for the races, and of course, I try to drive as much as you can, but when you're working and at school, it's sometimes it's difficult, but I try, and until now it works.
How long have you been racing, and where did you start?
I started when I was 14, and now I think this is my 12th season, I think. So there's quite a while, but most of the boys are driving when they're 7 or something. So I started a bit late, but yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Does not matter, but it's really nice to talk to you. And also in the qualifying, I was really going, come on, when you pop up there on the screen and suddenly you say, hey, she's really pushing. This is a tough track.
Yeah, it is, but it's also a very nice track. Yeah. I love driving here, so it's pretty fun. Yeah.
We think it's fun. We're going to be watching. Everyone at home's going to be watching. What's your race number? 621.
Yes.
Imke Arts from the Netherlands.
Yes.
And anyone you say hi to?
Hi, back home.
I can't speak Dutch, so I don't know how to say hi. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, hi. Hi to everyone watching. I know they're watching. Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, there we go. A little bit of an insight. Antoine also, I know he's getting ready. Maybe for all the French fans, because I don't want anyone to think I'm not speaking French. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
He's getting ready, but Antoine, very experienced driver. Lots of laps here before in Le Mans.
Yeah. This is the first time I'm doing this race. Then we are hoping a good position in this heat, and we are searching also the first place for the Spirit.
Mm-hmm. And maybe in French, you can say something about how your weekend is going for all the French fans watching.
Yeah. Eh bien, tout se passe super bien. Je voulais remercier le team dans lequel je suis, RM Concept, RM Power. Remercier mes parents, mes amis qui sont là, qui viendront aussi demain. Toute l'équipe KRT qui me soutiennent aussi derrière. Donc non, on fait du très bon boulot et puis on va chercher cette première place.
Merci.
Merci.
And good luck. It's been great. We've been meeting each other at the grand finals and here, different places for many years. But nice to see such a competitive field.
Yeah, literally we're all in the same tents, then this is going to be very good racing.
Mm. And what about some of the young drivers? Do you think there's some good ones in the DD2 class? Some of the younger ones?
Yeah, they are all good. If they are here, they are all good.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're all good. We're going to be watching. Thank you so much, and have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, soon we have to clear the grid. One more before we have to go. Zen? Hi. I came over here. You don't have your helmet on, but here you are. I mean, it's not so bad, but I know you'd rather be here on my right than on my left. How's your weekend?
Ups and downs, like many of them. I mean, last year we started on a down and we ended on a high, so now it's a bit more bumpy, but I mean, we had some good results, we had good pace, so everything is still possible. It's only the final that counts. So
that's it, only the final that counts, but it's really good racing, so we're going to say good luck. You've got to jump in your cart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's great to hear Imke Arts starting from the second row of the grid. Zen de Rua as well. And of course, our reigning champion, Antoine Barbaroux. There are the... There's Leonardo Baccaglini's kart. That's the Drake Racing, the Drake Motorsport team. I have to say that Imke, as a Welshman, Imke drives for my favourite team, Sheepers Racing. There's a Eric, you don't know there's a joke about Welshmen and sheep that does not need to be repeated live on air. There he is, Leonardo Baccaglini, sixth in this event last year, and certainly has unfinished business as far as he is concerned. There is the white and green Zen Darua kart. Zen winning this morning's heat race, but retiring from yesterday's heat. Now, during the course of this afternoon, we hope to kind of give you updates on the intermediate classifications. If you are new to karting, drivers are all scoring points in these heat races. That will go through to the intermediate classification. The intermediate classification standings, they decide the grids for tomorrow's superheats, and then superheats are 1.5 times the points that you earn for winning for competing in a heat race. At the end of the superheat, the standings in the superheats, the top 36 drivers in each class go through to the grand finals themselves. Of course, the superheat classification combined with all the heat races plus the superheat points, that decides the grid for the final. In Micromax, Minimax, DD2 and DD2 Masters, all drivers will qualify. We have 72 juniors and 108 seniors. They will be trimmed to 36 in each class after tomorrow's super heats. But here is your full starting lineup for what will be a 10-lap heat race. Leonardo Baccaglini and Len Nice start from pole position, and second, the outside of the front row of the grid. Imki Arts and Zen Darua go from row 2. Antoine Barbarou and Leon Mandel, row 3. Frederick Zebis and David Auleshner, row 4. Rasmus Vendelbo and Christoph Risk, row 5. Kilian Guerin and Patrick Nielsen, row 6. Nikita Genser and Matthew Fiera on row 7. William Christiansen and Baptiste Schneider, row 8. Jordan Caillet and Marco Drittenprice, row 9. Gabel Desert and Victor Sandin, row 10. Philippe Moitzi and Will Ellswood, row 11. Camilla Larson and Daniel Quintero, row 12. Luis Koch and Noah Tomaska, row 13. Rafael Jesus and Christos Dimitriou, row number 14. Row number 15 is Kian de Brandt and Mats Overhoff. Then Jordi Cleribo, Matej Kolmanic, Maximilian Adolf, Moemen Ben Amor, Leon Zelenko, and Brian Anker. Just 9 races to go. At the moment, Antoine Barbarou leads the intermediate classification with 100 points. Mandel on 77, Baccaglini 76, Arts and Auleshner 72. They are your top 5 in the standings as they head into the tram lines. And over to Eric Sellis.
Allez, les pilotes et le peloton reconstitué dans le dernier virage, on va accélérer. Est-ce que ça va être validé ? Non. Un nouveau tour de formation. On est parti un petit peu trop vite, à l'image de ce qui s'est fait ce matin, où on était pressé d'en découdre. Et bien là encore, sur ce plateau DD2, on va refaire un demi-tour de chauffe et un demi-tour de formation, pour que ensuite cette grille se reconstitue de la meilleure des façons et que le départ soit enfin validé par la direction de course. Il y a une ligne que les pilotes ne peuvent pas franchir sans avoir respecté leur emplacement. Et si ce n'est pas le cas, et s'il y a trop de différences de rythme, on ne valide pas ce départ lancé et on en redonne un autre, d'où cette nouvelle procédure en cours.
So we will go around once again. They come through turns 9 and 10 onto the Chemin au Boeuf Straight, or the Mini Mulsanne, into the Virage Technopark corner. That's because just outside the circuit there is a Technopark. Not like techno, stay up for 3 days raving park, but a techno is in technology park. The Alpine headquarters are there as well. Pity they didn't come to Rotax for their engines in Formula 1 this year, because here we go then. It's the 624 of Baccaglini, the 646 of Nice, the 621 of Arts, and the 635 of Darua. It's Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands and Slovenia at the front, but it's a Frenchman just behind them who leads the way in the points. Let's see what happens for the second time of asking.
Allez, cette fois, c'est parti et c'est validé avec un excellent départ de la première ligne. Et attention, à l'extérieur, non, on reste prudent. Et pour l'instant, il y a quelqu'un qui est passé là à l'extérieur, c'est le 635 me semble-t-il, c'est Xen Deroux qui est venu s'immiscer à la 3e position me semble-t-il, et Antoine Barbarou me semble être en 4e place pour ce premier tour.
A good clean start from all the front runners. Somebody at the back, one of the Door Motorsport carts, potentially in trouble. Have to try and check what that. I think it is Mohamed Ben Amour, the Tunisian driver, who's just now getting up to speed. But as they head down the back straight, Deroux on Len Nice for second place. Takes the position, and that demotes the Belgian down to third. Barbarou is fourth. Then it is Imke Arts in fifth. But Leonardo Baccaglini leads at the end of lap number 1 with Auleshna, the next of the Sheepers carts, in sixth position, followed by Mandel, and then the CRG of Denmark's Rasmus Vendelbo. But Baccaglini making a good getaway. Originally, Deroux was in third, now he runs in second. Imke Arts held on to second very briefly, but then she was muscled wide and dropped down to fifth position going through turn 3. But as they go through the Maison Blanche S's and head out to the banking once again, moves back as Barbarou having to defend. Baccaglini, though, is not getting away.
Et Baccaglini qui doit forcément performer s'il veut revenir sur Barbarou au classement provisoire. Baccaglini qui est donc au devant et aux commandes de cette course de cet après-midi, cette manche de qualification avec Deroux dans son sillage, Nils en 3e position, Barbarou est toujours 4e, Arts est toujours 5e et Olschner, David Olschner, le pilote du kart 665 est en 6e position.
Here comes the move. Deroux to the race lead, and Len Nice squeezes through as well. Barbarou takes advantage. Well, Len Nice really committed, forced Baccaglini wide, but then understeered coming out of turn number 3 himself. Barbarou capitalises, but it's now Xen Deroux back in the race lead, where he was this morning, although not quite sure what happened. Did Deroux win on the road, then maybe get a nose cone penalty afterwards? I can't quite recall, but Deroux has the race lead now, and it's Barbarou holding everyone up behind. So Deroux is escaping, then Barbarou in that blue and silver RM Concept liveried kart, being chased hard now by Len Nice. Baccaglini back into 4th position, and still Imke Arts and David Auleshna are next. Vendelbo, you can see him with the black and orange race suit in the CRG. He is there in 7th position with Mandel, and there's 3 wide between Genser, Nielsen and Frederick Zebis. Just behind them, Philippe Moitzi, the Austrian driver, down in 21st place, sets a new fastest lap. Barbarou, though, in the Team France race suit, really got his hands full at the moment because he is under pressure, and Deroux is pulling away.
Voilà, Barbarou qui est en 2e position, mais pour l'heure, Xen Deroux est en train de s'échapper avec un très bon chrono dans le précédent passage sur la ligne de chronométrage, 55-186, alors que c'est Philippe Moitzi, 54-364, qui a réalisé le meilleur tour en course. Nouveau passage sur la ligne de chronométrage avec Deroux devant Barbarou, Nietzsche, Baccaglini, Hertz, Vandelbo, Olschner et Guérin qui sont toujours roue dans roue. On est pour l'instant, on le voit très bien, 2 groupes se sont détachés. Le leader, ensuite on a 4 pilotes qui sont quasiment au contact, et ensuite un groupe de chasse composé de 5 autres pilotes. Attention à la moindre erreur, ça sera forcément sanctionné par son adversaire direct.
Well, we saw as well Rasmus Vendelbo picking up a position. That was over David Auleshna and put Vendelbo and the CRG into P6. This is 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th on your screens. Barbaroo still in front of Nice, Bakaglini and Imke Arts. Then there's Vendelbo being tracked by Auleshna, Guerin, Mandel and Nikita Genser, followed by Zebis. Looking at the rest of the field, sort of spreading out now behind. I have to say, there's the number 640 cart, that the Bouvan Power entry of Jordi Cleribo. But as the leaders head through turn 3 and up to the Curba de Duchamp, the Two Trees Bend, Barbaroo is not closing in on Derua like his results earlier this weekend would suggest. Derua may have slightly better Mojo tyres. They've done fewer laps than Barbaroo's have, because Derua only did 1 lap in heat number 1 before he had to retire with a bent rear axle. Here comes Imke Arts, though, having a little look up the inside of her teammate, the similarly liveried cart, not teammate, but similarly liveried machine of Leonardo Bakaglini. But Imke Arts has to be careful, because she has that driver on your screen, the 647, Denmark's Rasmus Vendelbo, bearing down on her.
Et De Roux toujours aux commandes, un peu à l'image de ce qu'on a vu ce matin. Il avait creusé un écart pour se mettre à l'abri rapidement. Et ensuite, on l'avait vu être rattrapé en fin de course. De Roux qui tire peut-être profit encore une fois de ces pneumatiques qui ont été mis à moindre contribution, puisqu'il a dû abandonner très tôt lors de sa première manche. Il n'avait parcouru qu'un seul tour. Voilà pourquoi peut-être il tire profit en tout cas d'un potentiel pneumatique plus, on va dire, plus performant en début d'épreuve, mais on l'a vu ce matin, son avance s'était ensuite réduite alors qu'il mène toujours les débats. On est à 8 tours parcourus. De Roux mène devant Barbaroo, Ninch, Bakaglini, Hertz et Vendelbo qui se rapproche de la pilote féminine.
Almost single file throughout the field. As we look there, that was Noah Tamaska, I believe, the black crash helmet, trying to make a move on Christoph Risk in the red race suit. Risk, the Lebanese driver, has fallen back considerably from his top 10 starting position. Up at the front, Barbaroo did have the fastest lap of the race, but now that belongs once again to race leader Zen Derua, 53.476 seconds. All 36 starters still running, including Mohamed Ben Amour, who has solved whatever ailment afflicted him on the opening lap. But Derua once again putting the hammer down. 53.450, and the gap back to Barbaroo is now over a full second. Bakaglini having to defend against Imke Arts and Rasmus Vendelbo. Len Nice in third is actually pulling away from the pole sitter, Italy's Leonardo Bakaglini, and wouldn't be surprised if maybe Len Nice, and I know that Len has had some a family passing in the last couple of days, so that we do wish the Nice family from Belgium well, and you're in our thoughts. But Len is doing the business on the track at the moment, chasing down reigning champion Antoine Barbaroo. And behind the Bakaglini Arts Vendelbo battle, the number 625 cart, that white and pink liveried Dream Racing entry of Kylian Guerin, is moving into the picture.
Allez, nous sommes dans le dernier tour de cette qualification avec toujours De Roux qui est largement installé aux commandes et qui va filer vers une victoire et marquer de précieux points. Derrière, Antoine Barbaroo est en deuxième position. Il est à l'abri lui aussi d'une attaque si il n'y a pas d'erreur de sa part pour Len Ninch. Ça sera impossible de revenir sur le français. Et par contre, derrière, attention parce que Bakaglini, eh bien, il y a du monde derrière lui, et notamment Imke Hertz qui pourrait peut-être venir lui souffler une position. Ça va en rester là finalement avec une victoire sans problème pour De Roux devant Barbaroo, Ninch, Bakaglini, Hertz, Vendelbo, Guerin, Gens, Zebis, Mandel complète le top 10.
I see a couple of drivers running very, very wide coming out of the final corner. One of the Door Motorsport carts included, but Zen Derua takes the win by 1 second over Antoine Barbaroux, but with 144 points, Barbaroux comfortably, provisionally on pole position for tomorrow's Superheat. Len Nice, that third place effort moves him up to third on the Super in the standings before the Superheat. Barbaroux finishing second, Nice third, Baccaglini finishing fourth, and that would put him on the outside of the front row of the grid for the Superheat tomorrow. Imke Arts, fifth in that one. She will start fourth for the Superheat. Rasmus Vendelbo was sixth across the line, Guerin seventh, Genser eighth, Zebis ninth, and Leon Mandel rounding out the top 10. With David Olejna and Patrick Nielsen next up. Good drive from Leon Zelenko to go from 35th to 20th. Sadly, Christoph Risk going the other way from 10th back to 26th. Zenderua, despite that earlier retirement yesterday in the opening heat, that win elevates him to 7th on the grid for tomorrow's Superheat. And I have to say, Eric, a very clean race as we look at some of the highlights. Baccaglini led early on, but then you just see the tail end of that move. First of all, it was Len Nice that went in on Baccaglini, and Barbaroux was able to capitalise. Then Baccaglini had to really fight a rear guard action. There was no catching Zenderua, so Slovenian Derua takes his first win. But after that race, Jen Wade is back down on the grid.
It's hot, and Robert Schlunsen, team boss, great to see you back on the grid. You just show up.
Yeah, I just showed up. Not too much preparation, but yeah, I think it's a nice track and yeah, good experience.
Yep.
A little bit rusty, but we got 1 day left, so I hope it's going.
Okay, how's the competition here in the Masters?
Yeah, they fight pretty hard right now. I expected a little bit more calm as an old gentleman, but that's not the case.
I'm not sure about the gentleman part because I don't know. But anyway, I think that comes in on the podium when they just click the bottles, drink the champagne and hop off the podium. And
yeah, I like it. It's still good mood in between each other. So fighting hard is okay for me.
Yeah, it's nice. RS competition, you've got some really fast drivers there. So good luck, Robert Schlunsen. Okay, Dennis is our pole sitter. I don't know. I'm looking for the sign to say get off the grid. Don't see him yet. Dennis, not so easy, but pole position.
Yeah, not so easy, but pole position, and I hope this one gets a little bit better. It's 2 times seconds. I'm going for the win now.
Okay, but in the end, it's all about tomorrow.
Of course. We are here, we have to do our A game for tomorrow's final.
Yeah.
So everything we're doing right now is just the preparation for tomorrow. So I don't put too much stress in it. I don't want to crash. I just want to finish the races, find my right setup for tomorrow, and that's it.
And tell us track conditions. We've had a lunch break. It's getting hotter. So
yeah, track conditions are quite different each time. So you don't really know how the setup you put in works. But we try our best, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Anything different this year when you think about the Masters grid? Have you noticed there's a new generation coming in?
Masters is always competitive. They think the Masters category are the old ones. They are not that fast anymore, but I'm sure that the top 5 from us still can be in top 10 in the young ones. And we showed this in Euro Trophy when we drive together. So it's hard, and it's getting harder every year when the young ones coming and when you get older. So it's like
it's a lot of fun. Robert also just said, it's quite a good spirit still, but they're pushing really hard.
Yeah, everybody's pushing really hard. I mean, that's why we're here. We want to win. We want to go to the front. So we try our best every time. we go over our limits, and that's why it's fun.
And tell me, Dennis, how many grand finals have you attended?
Oh, I'm not really sure. I think 7 as a driver and some as a mechanic, so I think 10.
Yeah, and I think the first one you weren't quite old enough in the DD2 to make the official grid, but it's been a long road, but a nice road. 25 years this year we're celebrating at the grand finals, so we hope to see you there.
Yeah, me too, because there's my 20 years of road tax next year, so I hope I can get there as well.
Okay, we're going to say good luck and we're going to watch the racing.
All right, have fun.
Thank you. Oh, I've got to do my work. Hey, did we catch up last year also here? I think on the grid last year.
Yeah,
Yeah. Would you like to say hi to anyone at home?
I use the headphones.
earplugs.
Yes,
Okay. Good luck.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So this, of course, the class for drivers at the top end of the experience scale, shall we say. 31 years and older. There's Wim Rouleau, another one of the Sheepers Racing drivers, getting a last-minute high five. A little bit of business to take care of after this morning. Christoph Adams didn't take the start this morning. A slight comedy of errors, not on Chris's behalf. He had to go and charge his transponder, so he gave his transponder to the gentleman in charge of charging transponders, and then when he went back to get said transponder, said gentleman was nowhere to be found. And by the time said gentleman had been found, the grid had closed. However, I have learnt that, well, the organisers here, 3MK Events, very kindly put on a free breakfast of croissants and coffee this morning, and woe betide anyone who separates a proud Frenchman from his morning patisserie, shall we say. There is Yannick Nielsen in kart 702. Yannick from Denmark. He is a Danish sprinter. Was very, very competitive in track and field athletics. There he is in kart 702 at the right-hand side of your screen. Jack Dex there in kart 745, and I know Jack's better half, Bryony King, is watching back home. Hello, Bryony. As we look down there, there's a big wave from Vivian Cusack-Pico, winner of this event 2 years ago. Here is your starting lineup. Dennis Thum on pole position alongside Robert Schlunsen. Then it's Vivian Cusack-Pico and Jack Dex on row 2. Fabian Bock and Andreas Brenkush, row 3. Yannick Nielsen and Nadir Kabaj, row 4. Christophe Capitan and Harold Watson, row 5. Carl Cladibo and Wim Rouleau, row 6. Jeremy Brassler and Jimmy Chaumier on row 7. Martin Konopka and Peter Gutai, row 8. Roman Monge and Christoph Adams, row 9. Jamie Billings and Bastien Crapote on row 10. Tony Hogg and Niels Berler on row 11. Key Bjorn Edstrom and Lucas Lippert on row 12. Charles Sagan and Philippe Villegas on row 13 with Rainier Bourne, Ronald Billings, Anastasios Lukides and Xiao Hun Moon rounding out the 30 kart field.
Le peloton qui est en train de se remettre en place pour terminer ce tour de formation et rentrer sous les ordres de la direction de course. On va rappeler que Dennis Tum, qui part en pole position, est actuellement en tête du classement provisoire de cette catégorie des D2 Masters avec seulement 6 points d'avance sur Bock et surtout 8 points d'avance sur Vivien Cusack-Picot. Donc Fabian Bock qui lui va s'élancer depuis la 5e position. Donc on a les 3 premiers dans un mouchoir de poche et c'est très très serré au niveau du classement provisoire puisque jusqu'à Kabenji qui est en 7e position, il n'y a que 20 points d'écart dans ce classement provisoire. Voilà, le peloton et reformer. Cette grille respecte bien ses couloirs. On est sous les ordres de la direction de course. On va accélérer progressivement. Ça devrait partir. Oui, c'est fait. C'est parti correctement avec tout de suite Dennis Tum à la manœuvre qui va négocier ce premier virage avec autorité pour rester aux avant-postes juste devant Vivien Cusack-Picot en 2e position et derrière tout semble se passer correctement.
Great start from Tum as you look back in the middle of the pack there, side-by-side action all the way down the order. A couple of drivers were slow to get started, including Lucas Lippert, who has had a terrible day. He failed to start the first race, and the number 724 kart, the MS chassis for the RTM Team Margraf entry was slow away again, but he is in the race as Tum and Schlunsen tried to clear away. Jack Dex up into 3rd position. It's actually not Schlunsen, he's dropped back to 5th. It's Cusack-Picot up into P2. But then behind the top 3, Brenkush, Schlunsen, Nielsen, Bock, Cabage, Cleribo and Rulo. That's your top 10. A very spread out front pack already.
Et malheureusement pour Romain Manger, qui s'était illustré par le passé, Romain Manger qui a dû abandonner. On voit le kart du français qui est là à l'intérieur du banking et Romain Manger qui assouvi son autre passion puisque vous le savez peut-être aussi, il était à la tête du team BMRT 24 Maxes pour le championnat du monde d'endurance. Il avait gagné la coupe du monde Superstock et il s'était engagé ensuite en catégorie reine en EWC. Pour l'heure, on suit ce qui se passe en tête parce que ça devient très très chaud entre Tum et Cusack-Picot. Ils sont roue dans roue avec Jack Dex en 3e position qui tente lui aussi de revenir sur le duo devant lui alors qu'un tout petit peu plus loin, c'est Brenkush, le numéro 723 qui tente de rejoindre ce trio un petit peu à l'abri de la pression des cartes qui le suivent et notamment emmené par Yannick Nielsen et Fabian Bock. Fabian Bock qui doit absolument réagir parce qu'il est en 4e position au classement provisoire et il doit marquer des points importants.
Cusack-Picot looking at the rear bumper of Dennis Tum's Craft Motorsport in association with Rotax Cyprus entry. And Cusack-Picot, after that good start, looking very racy as they head into Virage Technopark. Jack Dex in the Jack Dex Racing in conjunction with Dan Holland this weekend, MS Kart. Then there's a gap back to 4th place driver Andreas Brenkush, that rather familiar looking KSB Racing team livery of sort of white, pink and purple. Behind Brenkush is the number 727 kart. That's the RS Competition Tony kart of Robert Schlunsen, the Danish driver. Jack Dex gets his head together and sets the fastest lap of the race. At the moment, Dennis Tum leads the intermediate classification with 138 points. He would start the superheat from pole position. Vivien Cusack-Picot is on 124 points and Jack Dex on 115. Brenkush 114, Bock 112, Cabage 100 and Schlunsen 93. But early stages in this 10-lap heat race, we complete lap number 4. So we now move on to lap 5 out of 10, and sadly Lucas Lippert's race has come to another early conclusion. At least his tyres are going to be good tomorrow because they have not done many laps today, but Dex now starting to work over the rear end of Cusack Pico's kart to try and find a way through and maybe move up onto the rear bumper of Dennis Toom's machine.
C'est l'intérêt de cette deuxième partie de course, puisque nous sommes dans le 5e tour de cette manche qualificative sur les 10 à parcourir. Et si Vivien Cusack-Picot ne parvient pas pour l'instant à faire la jonction avec Dennis Toom, eh bien derrière lui, Jack Dex est revenu dans le sillage du Français. Et on l'a vu à plusieurs reprises mettre la pression sur le kart numéro 733. Pour l'instant, ce sont restés des manœuvres infructueuses, mais attention, Jack Dex n'a pas dit son dernier mot et Vivien Cusack-Picot serait bien inspiré de remettre un petit peu de charbon dans la machine, si vous me permettez l'expression. Oh là là, on le voit ici là, Jack Dex dans ce virage, ce double droit des deux arbres est très très pressant sur Cusack-Picot, mais pour l'instant ça tient toujours pour le Français.
There are 3 up at the front as Dex continues to stare closely at the rear end of Cusack-Picot's kart. They both chase Dennis Toom through Virage de Technopark into Paddock Bend. Or to give it its French name, Virage de Paddock. And now they're into the Virage de Stand corner, the grandstand bend. Jack Dex signalling, saying, I think something might be amiss. And he's already dropping back. That was the international signal for, das Auto ist kaputt, ja. But Dennis Toom has got plenty. Well, I mean, in the UK, when we say a driver has plenty of speed, we call it waft. Dennis Toom, that is Kraft, the Volkswaft, the people's waft, or Das Waft. Cusack-Picot has plenty of Le Waft, and Jack Dex has no waft at the moment.
Allez, Jack Dex toujours en 3e position qui tente de revenir sur Cusack-Picot après avoir connu un petit souci, semble-t-il, au bout de la ligne droite des stands dans le tour précédent. On va surveiller le pilote britannique pour savoir si tout se passe bien. Jack Dex, ouais, ça a l'air d'aller, mais en tout cas, il y a une petite cassure entre lui et Cusack-Picot. C'est globalement l'écart qui sépare Dennis Toom de Cusack-Picot et Jack Dex. C'est également à peu près la même valeur derrière. Brunkush est en train de se défaire de Stulson, mais pour l'heure, eh bien, pas de changement en haut de la hiérarchie. C'est une course assez, on va dire, planté, si vous me permettez l'expression. Pas de grosses manœuvres, pas de dépassement. On est sur un rythme très élevé bien sûr, mais pour l'instant pas d'erreur et pas de possibilité d'attaque pour les 5 pilotes qui sont aux avant-postes de cette manche de qualification.
Top 5 now closing up. You just saw on your screens a good pass there from driver 711, the Brand Racing entry of Tony Hogg. Tony, who keeps threatening to retire from karting, he broke his shoulder quite badly earlier this year out at the Dubai Kartdrome. As across the line comes the number 751 kart. That would be Bjorn Edström, the only driver here. Well, he's Swedish, but racing under a Norwegian license. That it's the G-Co Racing Sodi kart. It's very sort of a flame red, but it does have a rear bumper hanging off it, which isn't great news. Now, even though Jack Dex was signalling a couple of laps ago that all was not well with that number 745 MS kart, he appears to be hanging on quite well to Vivien Cusack-Picot, although Andreas Brunkush in 4th position is now beginning to close in as we start our final lap, and unsurprisingly, Bjorn Edström gets the meatball flag, so his race is run.
Allez, c'est le dernier tour. Maintenant, il reste moins d'un demi-tour presque à parcourir pour Dennis Toom. Dennis Toom qui est maintenant quasiment assuré d'aller chercher la victoire. Cusack-Picot en deuxième position devrait lui aussi conserver son bien, parce que même si Jack Dex semble être revenu un petit peu, eh bien pour l'instant il est dans l'impossibilité de l'attaquer. Voilà, on le voit dans la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf, ça ne revient pas et on va se diriger vers une course et une arrivée limpide avec la victoire de Dennis Thum en tête du début à la fin devant Vivien Cusack-Picot, Jack Dex, Andreas Brenkusch et Robert Schulzen.
Great result behind Schlutzen. Yannick Nielsen comes home in 6th position. Nadia Kabaj finishing 2nd. And here's William Ellswood, by the looks of it, holding off. Wrong class. Wrong. It was one of the other craft carts. Christophe Capitan finishing 9th, then Martin Konopka, Carl Cledibo 11th, Jimmy Chaumier, Harold Watson, Jeremy Brassler, Peter Gutai, Christophe Adams in 16th place, ahead of Wim Rouleau, Jamie Billings, Tony Hogg and Bastien Krapoth. Then it's Felipe Villegas. The Colombian driver finishes 21st, Niels Berler, Rainier Bourne, Ron Billings, Anastasios Liukidis, and then rounding out the finishers in 26th position for the team Margraf, it is Sao Hun Moon, Charles Seguin joining Edstrom, Lippert and Monge on the list of retirees. I have to say, WFR Live TV have been putting together some highlight clips of each of the races. I've got to say, they're going to be doing well to pick out more than about 3 seconds worth of highlights from that one, because it was not an all-out war. I think once Dennis Thum got away at the start, as you can see here, he was able to just keep everyone else at arm's length. Back in the pack on the opening lap, there was a fair bit of rough and tumble, but there's the move from Tony Hogg. We'll capture that one. That is, I'll repeat, Tony Hogg making an overtaking manoeuvre. I know, rare as it sounds, but Dennis Thum, he will start from pole position in tomorrow's Superheat with Pico second. Now it's time for the next race, and that is our first of 2 junior Rotax heats. That's up next, and imagine Jen Wade is probably somewhere down on the grid.
Yes, Henry, I'm down here melting on the grid with all the drivers and the mechanics. But no, it's fun. It's summer. We love it. I found one of the other ladies on the grid, Yvonne Simonova. I have a quick chat with her because she's always volunteering. And I like the drivers that volunteer, that they want to say hi to everyone at home.
Hi, how are you?
And tell us, Yvonne, how's everything going?
So the first heat yesterday was pretty good until I got crashed out. I went from P19 to P5 and then I got crashed out like in lap 7 out of 10. The first heat today was okay, but I got bumper because a driver pushed me into someone and I got on someone. And
you just can't trust these drivers.
And now we will do anything to do great, and we need to take full risk now.
Now, a little birdie told me that you're one of the drivers, the young women, who've been selected in a special initiative to help girls progress in motorsport. Can you tell us just quickly what it's about?
Yeah, it's called More Than Equal, and also my 2 coaches were here yesterday and watched me.
Hi to Sarah.
Hi to Sarah and hi to Tom and hi Jordan, but Jordan wasn't here, and hi to everyone from the program. I miss you a lot. I'm happy to see you at the camp in September in Austria. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like to develop the ladies and give them the opportunity to do the best they can do, and they're just helping us and supporting us full maximum, and we're just all 6, and we're not like a big group, so they can like look only after us, and it's like not so big and not so hard.
And tell me, what are the things that you have to do to progress, and are there any particular things they say to you need to do?
Yeah, for example, in a camp they say, like, for example, like if someone does a mistake, like if I do a mistake, just forget it and like look forward and
move on, stay focused.
Yeah.
What about sim training? Your favorite thing?
Yeah. Last year I was pretty shit.
Average? Okay.
At the
Average?
I was pretty beep at the sim, but this year I improved a lot, and also in winter with my karting coach, Michi Filo, where we do like also sim. Hi to Michi.
Hi to Michi, back there in Austria.
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah,
Okay, in the
yeah,
paddock.
he's at the KRT, and we do like sim testing, and
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. I know you're going to work hard for this. And to all the other girls out there who want to be here.
Hi to Sky, Lana, Christina, and Katrina, and Laura, but Laura is here.
Yeah, Laura's here. All the other girls as well. Here, 16 girls
Not
this
a lot,
weekend.
Not a lot. We need more girls.
We
We
do
need more girls. But
Teresa Babakova, where are you? Petra, Alishka,
where are you?
where are you? Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi. All the way from our favourite circuit in Spain, one of our favourite circuits, not our favourite, but our favourite for the Winter Trophy, Campos. How are you?
Fine, you?
Yeah, I'm good. Is it hot or is it like this in Spain?
No, here is more hot.
Okay. And you're here, I guess, for the experience because we see you at the Winter Trophy, Winter Cup. Now you're here again in Le Mans. How's it going?
Good.
Yeah. What about your dad? How's he going? Is he nervous?
No.
No. Okay, he looked pretty nervous to me when I saw him, but he obviously, for you, he's not nervous. How do you like the competition? Good?
Yes.
Okay. And for all our Spanish viewers watching, would you like to say something in Spanish to everyone back home?
I love them.
He loves them. Okay. Enjoy the race. Good luck. Thank you. Nice to have you here.
Okay, there's here from Yvonne Simeonova, who's always got plenty to say for herself, usually at my expense, and also from Jeremy Roivers. The heat is absolutely energy sapping out there, which reminds me, Eric, should I turn the air conditioning down to 17 degrees or up to 18 degrees here in the commentary box? I don't know. What would you prefer?
17, please.
Okay, 17. I'll just bear with me 1 second. That's just upset everybody in the paddock. But quite seriously, though, please, I hope the drivers and the mechanics are keeping hydrated. During my lunchtime wander around the paddock, there were people literally, any bit of shade they could find, they were finding it. And there was certainly no games of football going on or games of cricket that have been the course of the last 2 days. There is Lewis Goff. Lewis, the Sam Pollitt Racing driver, and been a lot of joking in the UK about the various tiers of team we have, and up until the start of this year, Sam Pollitt, they were the nearly men. They would do well, but then they couldn't quite win. But that has changed massively this year. They have been winning in virtually every class. And I know that Sam Pollitt is at a wedding watching his daughter be a bridesmaid or a page girl or something like that. But yeah, don't forget, Tier 1 team now, Sam. Tier 1 team. But I've got to say, Sam's at home and the rest of the team are doing a fantastic job here, including with Lewis Goff, who he is tied with Jacob Ashcroft for lead of the points. So maybe Sam needs to stay away a bit more and let the boys run it themselves. I mean, just a suggestion. Who knows? There's Jacob Ashcroft on the outside. I did, when I was making fun of his dad Barry earlier about Barry cycling on the track, I said that Barry's wife's name was Laura, and it's not, it's Louise. Laura's the side chick, apparently. I'm joking, Barry. I don't want to get you into any more trouble. So, we have a head-to-head battle between the two drivers at the head of the point standings. At the moment, Ashcroft and Goff are tied on 91 points. Matthew Davernier on 88. I'm not sure if Davernier is in this race. No, he's not. He'll be in the next heat. There are 72 junior drivers. They're split into 4 groups. That's why they're racing in 3 heats. They will race, Group A, which is, this is Group A versus Group D. But Group A will race Group B, Group C, and now Group D. Everyone races everyone else to be fair. 36 karts, 10 laps. Here is your starting lineup. Lucas Skeles and Jacob Ashcroft on row number 1. Dragos Afilsulcute and Caden Higgins, row 2. Lewis Goff and Bran van der Weyken, row 3. Pablo Estevez and Tish van Wyk on row 4. Charlie Smith and Cameron Nelson, row 5. Jeremy Roivers and Oscar Guccio, row 6. Owen Baroni and Connor Clancy, row 7. Bastian Ottensama and Matthias Kieler up row 8. Ollie Wise and Boris Verhage on row 9. Yvonne Simeonova and Adam Elbasani on row 10. Valentin Bouveau and Daniel Kreut on row 11. Arthur Gonsalves and Gabriel Canal, row 12. Yanis Courage, son of the legendary Yves Courage, comes next, followed by Tillian Apio. Charlene Cordair, racing in memory of her friend Nico Mania, is next in the number 260 kart, followed by Thomas Eli, Lucas Konopka, Joao Maria Pereira, Benjamin Baker, Vlad Temenchuk, Petr Shingov, Hugo Rojon, Daniel Surya Isa and Andreas Kosciari.
Voilà, 36 cartes au départ de cette manche qualificative et un peloton emmené par Lucas Seles. Lucas Seles, le français, avec à ses côtés Jacob Ashcroft. Ashcroft qui va devoir batailler pour aller chercher, pourquoi pas, la victoire, parce que au classement intermédiaire, eh bien, il est à égalité, voilà, et on s'est un petit peu empressé justement du côté de Ashcroft, puisque c'est lui qui a franchi le premier la ligne de chronométrage, alors que normalement il aurait dû respecter la hiérarchie entre guillemets. Donc on va redonner un départ, nouveau tour, demi-tour de chauffe. Ça permet aux pneumatiques de monter en température, même si encore une fois il fait très chaud. On a plus de 30 degrés dans l'air, donc à mon avis la piste doit être aux alentours de 40 voire 45 degrés de piste, et il faut donc ajuster les pressions en conséquence. Voilà les marshals qui commencent à agiter les drapeaux jaunes pour inciter les pilotes à réduire leur vitesse afin que cette grille de départ puisse se reconstituer correctement. On va former les 2 colonnes, on va négocier le virage du Technopark, le virage du paddock, et ensuite revenir sur la ligne droite des stands pour cette nouvelle procédure de départ. Voilà, tout le monde retrouve sa place. On a un retardataire là-bas, que se passe-t-il?
Tillian Apio is the driver that is now catching the back of the field, Eric. He will catch the back of the field and start at the rear.
Allez, cette fois, ça sera la bonne, j'imagine, avec toujours la pression mise par les officiels. Voilà, on réduit, on accélère progressivement, et cette fois c'est bon. Voilà, avec un excellent départ, mais j'ai l'impression que le poleman, oh là là là, qui est monté sur le vibreur, le poleman qui s'est fait bousculer, Lucas Seles, qui a perdu le leadership au profit, me semble-t-il, de Jacob Ashcroft.
Well, the first start was a false start because Ashcroft was just a little bit across the line before the pole sitter. The second start, Jacob Ashcroft timed it to perfection. He got across and then, and behind them, that's Oscar Guccio. It's one of his teammates, number 228 kart of Valentin Beauvoir. getting airborne, but Ashcroft, he timed it brilliantly and was able to squeeze Lucas Skeles to the inside, and Skeles then sort of bounced over the curb, lost momentum, and that allowed Ashcroft just to squeeze to the inside and take the lead going into turn number 1. And look at the advantage the young Englishman has as he crosses the line to complete lap number 1. Oh, more karts spinning going through the Virage de Paddock, and we'll get number checks on them next time by. They were all down towards the back of the field anyway, but it is advantage Ashcroft at the front.
Et nouveau changement en tête avec Lucas Skeles qui perd 2 positions puisque Higgins et Goff sont passés. Higgins et Goff qui sont passés sur le français. Et évidemment pour Goff c'est important parce qu'il doit revenir marquer des gros points dans le cadre du classement provisoire. Mais pour Skeles là le début de course semble un petit peu problématique. On sent que le français a du mal à se mettre dans le rythme et attaque me semble-t-il de Goff sur Higgins et ça passe me semble-t-il au bout de la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf, pardon. Et on va retrouver donc dans quelques instants sur la ligne de chronométrage Ashcroft, ça c'est pas un problème, avec Goff, voilà, Higgins, Skeles, Van Wyck et Nelson.
2 more drivers going off there through turn number 12. We've lost Yanis Courage and Andreas Kosciari. They were the 2 karts retiring. Another driver entering the pits with a badly bent rear axle. I couldn't quite see who that was. That could be Boris Verhaeghe, Hugo Rogion and Valentin Beauvoir down at the back of the field, as is Gabriel Canal. Bastian Ottensamer has lost ground, as has Adam Elbassani. Up at the front, though, it is still Ashcroft leading, but behind him now, after a couple of really good moves, it's Lewis Goff. Caden Higgins is third for Dream Racing, the Australian-born Dubai-based driver, with Lucas Skeles, our pole sitter, now down to P4. But this is basically whoever finishes first between Goff and Ashcroft is on pole for the superheat. And as we look there, Goff takes the lead with a brilliant move to the inside at turn number 1. Now it's advantage Goff in the point standings.
Grosse bagarre en tête de cette course avec Ashcroft, Goff, Higgins et Van Wyck qui sont au coude à coude. C'est un petit peu plus compliqué pour Lucas Skeles alors que derrière Cameron Nelson a pris le meilleur sur Guccio. Mais là parmi les hommes de tête c'est la grosse bagarre. On voit ici que c'est très tendu à la sortie du banking. On attend les 4 pilotes qui sont passés dans un mouchoir de poche au deuxième intermédiaire, toujours sous le contrôle de Ashcroft. Mais pour combien de temps est-ce que Goff va réussir à prendre le meilleur alors que derrière, eh bien j'ai l'impression qu'on revient très fort entre Van Wyck et Skeles. C'est très chaud entre le français et le néerlandais et Cameron Nelson également qui vient se mêler à la bagarre.
Tish Van Wyck now moves into 4th position. You can see him with the Dutch coloured race suit, the orange and blue machine on the green and white Tony kart chassis. There he is, the second kart in your picture, 4th on the road. Skeles has dropped to 5th. Wales' Cameron Nelson is 6th. Jeremy Roivers up into P7, the Spaniard, where his dad runs karting Campillos out in Spain. So Roivers has got plenty of experience around that track, and he's showing that he is he's not a one-hit wonder by any stretch of the imagination, is Jeremy Roivers in kart number 221. A very capable pilot indeed. Finished 6th in this event a year ago as a Minimax driver. Behind Roivers, you have got Brander Van der Weken, Dragos Avalos-Okute, Charlie Smith, Pablo Estevez and Oscar Guccio. Ivion Simeonova is up into 13th place, and Tillian Apio, after starting at the back, has actually come through to gain 10 places. He's up into 16th ahead of Gonsalves, Kjellerup and Conor Clancy, the Irishman, going the wrong way, sadly. Yellow flags waving. Somebody, I can see a marshal running. And I can't see who's gone off, but let's have a little look there. We've lost a couple of drivers out of this one as we move into the second half of the race. Verhage, I think it might be Hugo Rojon and Gabriel Canal have retired. No, it's Canal in kart 220, who is right down at the back. He's not retired, but he has gone off and has restarted again.
Voilà, on a passé le cap de la mi-course et c'est toujours Lewis Goff qui emmène le peloton devant Jacob Ashcroft, Caden Higgins, Tish Van Wyk, Cameron Nelson et Lucas Seles. Lucas Seles qui serait bien inspiré de gagner des positions pour conserver sa deuxième position au classement provisoire de cette catégorie. Mais pour l'heure, c'est compliqué parce que devant, ça va très très vite. Et Lucas Seles est maintenant dans le sillage de Cameron Nelson, pardon. Et il va falloir trouver l'ouverture pour le Français s'il veut revenir. Ça y est, c'est fait à l'intérieur. Non, ça ne passe pas à l'entrée de la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf. En revanche, attention parce que Céleste était sous la menace d'une attaque, mais ça a été repoussé de façon autoritaire par le Français.
Tish Van Wyk moves into P3 in that number 246 Bouvan Power entry. Caden Higgins back the third. Ashcroft looking racy into turn number 1. Lewis Goff on lap number 8, beginning to defend. That will back the field up. We will have a 4-kart battle for the lead before too long. Ashcroft, he's got a very tight line going into the Curve des Duchamps there. That means he can get the power down nice and early. The back end of the kart is feeling nice and planted. It's not sort of kicking out from the back of him. He's able to get the power down. The kart's not bogging down either. He's got a great release out of the corners. He's going to need a good one here to hold off the advances of Tish Van Wyk. Here's Van Wyk into Technopark corner. No. And sitting and watching and waiting is the number 257 kart of Caden Higgins. So, 4 for the race lead. Then a big gap back to Nelson in 5th, who is defending. Whoa, Nelson from Dragos Avisil Kutai. Then it's Skellis, Van der Weyken, Roivers, Smith and Estevez. That's the second group, and we're almost 3 wide for the lead. Van Wyk runs wide at turn number 3, and that gives Ashcroft a bit of breathing room as he tries to set off after Goff.
Ah, c'est très très chaud hein, devant, mais aussi pour les accessites. On l'a vu, hein, ce groupe de 4 qui se rend coup pour coup entre Goff, Ashcroft, Van Wyk et Higgins. On a vu Higgins pendant un moment revenir aux avant-postes, mais là c'est parti sur un rythme totalement fou là pour ces derniers tours de course. Et derrière c'est Cameron qui mène la chasse. Attention, ça s'est regroupé là dans le virage du paddock. On va se retrouver avec... Ouais, c'est très très large. C'est très très large pour Goff, pardon, qui perd une position et il a eu de la chance de pouvoir revenir sur la piste avant de passer dans l'herbe.
Well, Goff opened the door, Ashcroft took full advantage, and rather than sort of break and lose momentum, Goff just kept it pinned high, wide and handsome. And can you get penalised for track limits when you lose a position? I mean, I don't know. It was great racing. What's happened is that it has helped back the pack up, but Ashcroft now has set the go pedal, and imagine Lewis Goff with the steam billowing out of his ears is setting off after his fellow Englishman. We are into the final couple of corners. Ashcroft defending. Here comes Goff. Goff going to try and return the favour as they come through the curve to Dustand. Goff on the curb. Higgins is there. Ashcroft takes the checkered flag from Goff and Higgins, and they were all jumping over the back of each other behind them. Dragos Avasil Kutai finishes P4 with Nelson 5th, Tish Van Wyk 6th, Roivers 7th, Skeles 8th, and Charlie Smith from Team USA is, American driver Charlie Smith for Strawberry Racing is 9th, followed by Bran van der Weyken, then Oscar Guccio, Yvonne Simeonova, Pablo Estevez, Mateus Kellerup and Ollie Wise. Looking down the order towards the end of the race. No, we didn't lose anybody in the last couple of corners. Yanis Courage, Andreas Kosciari, and they go crawling across the line is Gabriel Canal with a very, very poorly wagon. But, well, that race certainly had it all, Eric.
Ouais, superbe course, hein, remportée par Jacob Ashcroft et Lewis Goff dans ce dernier tour. On avait au premier virage, on avait 7 cartes roue dans roue et puis ça s'est un petit peu embrouillé derrière. Ça a laissé Jacob Ashcroft et Lewis Goff s'expliquer pour le gain de la victoire et Caden Higgins est revenu chercher la 3e position devant Avasil Kute et Cameron Nelson, alors que l'on revoit les meilleurs moments de cette course. Ça a été très disputé. Au début, on pensait que ça allait être assez facile vu l'écart qui avait été creusé par le leader. Et puis derrière, on a eu quelques petites figures de style et des pilotes qui sont allés un petit peu visiter les bas-côtés de la piste. Oula, ici, on a trois cartes qui sont parties dans le décor. Et dans les derniers tours, ça a été vraiment très disputé entre Ashcroft, Goff, Higgins, Avasil Kute, Nelson, Van Wyck et Rovers pour les positions d'honneur. En tout cas, ça a été une très belle course.
Yes, you can see there Tish Van Wyck was closing in as we look towards the next race. We didn't see that pass that Ashcroft did on Goff, but the next junior heat race, in fact the last junior heat race of the event is coming up next, but not before we head back down to Jen Wade on the grid and a gentleman in a nice red pair of trousers.
Helmut Vogelsam from BRP Rotax. I found you in the paddock.
Hello, Jen.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi to everyone in Austria. Now, Helmut, here we are in Le Mans. It's hot, but fantastic. Record numbers, 318 drivers. What do you think?
Now we are really impressed about the organization that 3MK put here on. Yeah, I just arrived today. You know, I'm also impressed how much rubber is on the track. Yeah, and I can see and hear from the drivers, you know, that they really enjoy, you know, the activities and the track action they have seen here. Yeah.
Now tell me, this is our 6th edition. One time to Portimao. Did you expect at the beginning, it's a little bit like the Grand Finals, 25 years this year since we began, but this excitement, I guess the atmosphere of this event is completely different.
I think it has a lot to do with the location itself, Le Mans. Yeah, with the drivers I have been speaking today, they all say, you know, they are here for the numbers. Yeah, because they really enjoy racing with big grids. Yeah. And also Le Mans, you know, it's a really special atmosphere, yeah, and that's the reason why they are here.
There's lots of kids with the 24-hour caps and hats. I think they've all been to the museum and the shop. It is special. Lots of fans as well, lots of families, school holidays. But what about the racing? I mean, it's close.
It's really close, yeah. I'm really excited to see what will go on tomorrow in the finals, yeah, and I'm looking forward to see who is on the podium.
I think we're all excited for what happens tomorrow, but for the guys today, they're still trying to get the points.
Yeah.
What can we look forward to, do you think? I'm always looking for a scoop. Is there anything new, different, special this year at the Grand Finals? Fireworks?
Unfortunately, I can't tell you, otherwise, you know, the surprise is gone, so you will have to come and see.
Yes, I'll be there. But it's really great to have you here. We're going to go on to the grid, see who's there, and thank you so much, Helmut Vogelsam. And enjoy.
Yeah, thanks and good luck to everyone for the race tomorrow.
Thank you.
Voilà, on va donc retrouver cette grille de départ de la dernière manche de qualification pour la catégorie junior, avec sur la première ligne le numéro 244 que vous voyez sur la gauche de l'image avec Théo Palmer et Matteo d'Auvergne, le numéro 276 à ses côtés. On l'a aperçu rapidement dans l'image, Mathis Aumêtre, le numéro 13 sera sur la deuxième ligne avec à ses côtés Noah Jensen, Boer Maximov le 232 et Leonidas Peruzzi le 278 partageront la troisième ligne. Vivien Guyonnet et Kay Clark seront juste derrière eux. Cinquième ligne pour Zayn Elmosani et Maxime Prudent. Lilian Soares et Antoine Grisel seront sur la ligne suivante, c'est-à-dire la sixième. Giovanni Lorenzo Giacinto et Casper Nissen partageront la septième ligne. Huitième ligne pour Matteo Natino et Laura Bubenova. Neuvième ligne pour Noah Barheim et Ryan Bourguignon. Dixième ligne pour Uros Bogdanic et Michal Slotifs. Will Archer et Martin Lichner partageront eux la 11e ligne. 12e ligne de la grille pour Jure Levar et Johan Zlobonski. Jaime Ambroise et Christian Sedjertsen partageront la 13e ligne de la grille de départ. 14e ligne pour Maxime Kirwan et Eva Maurice. Raphaël Youssef et Lenny Robillot-Lagache seront sur la 15e ligne de la grille. Romain Saleh et Timon Trinka partageront la 16e ligne. 17e et avant.
It's competitive, really lots of good drivers.
It's an interesting experience, most definitely something that I looked forward to for a while and I'm enjoying, despite the races being quite difficult in this field. But it's been lovely so far and I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, we're going to say congratulations. There's your mechanic, team boss. Good luck. And it's really nice also to have you here. I was talking earlier to Yvonne, and she told me also you're part of this initiative with More Than Equal. Yeah. How's that going?
It's been very good so far. Also another exciting program that makes my journey to reach my goals a little bit easier. So it's been great.
Yeah, it's good. Really good and nice to see you here. We're going to say good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, we are now waiting for the last heat rate. Jacob Ashcroft, 141 points. Lewis Goff, 135. Lucas Scales, 115. Cameron Nelson, 108. Caden Higgins, 106. And Teish Van Wyk, 106. Obviously, the drivers in this heat are not registering with points just yet. They will when they enter the circuit. It's going to be that man there, Theo Palmer, in the XL Motorsport kart. XL Motorsport team, originally founded, I think, in conjunction with Kevin Day and Paul Hardy. Dan Hart, who is now running the team out in the UAE. They've been coming over to Europe in the last couple of years. They race at Kart Masters. Really, really, turning into a top international style team. And if I didn't say that, Ash Whiteman would beat me up, apparently. But allegedly, if he could try. Here we go. Here's your starting lineup then. It is Theo Palmer and Matthew Dauvergne on row number 1. Matisse Omaitre and Noah Janssen on row 2. Boaz Maximov and Leonidas Peruzzi, row 3. Vivien Gionnet and Kai Clark, row 4. The main Zayn El Homosani and Maxime Prudent on row 5. Lilian Suarez and Antoine Grisel on row 6. Lorenzo Giovanni Giaquinto and Casper Nissa on row 7. Matteo Natino and Laura Bubenova, row 8. Noah Barham and Rayan Bourguignon, row 9. Uros Bogdanic and Michael Solstice, row 10. Will Archer and Martin Lichner on row 11. Yuri Levar and Johan Zablinski, row 12. JJ Ambrose and Kirstian Syerson, row 13. Maxim Kerwin, watch for the Kiwi, and Eva Morris on row number 14. Raphael Youssef at the back, along with Lenny Robillot-Lagache, Roman Saye, Timon Trinka, Jay Jacke, Kai Vich, Giacomo Di Pasquale and Nathan Kappen. 36 karts, all on circuit. And Palmer had a win yesterday, which was, a great result for both Theo and the team, a real confidence booster. But Dauvergne on the outside in that black and red kart, the number 276 machine for the PB kart team, also very, very strong.
Et attention à ce départ. Oh, ça semble compliqué ce départ. Ouais, c'est raté. On le sentait venir avec un tour supplémentaire de formation. Il y avait beaucoup d'écart entre Theo Palmer et Matteo Dauvergne. Et de fait, eh bien, la direction de course n'a pas validé cette mise en action. Et on est donc reparti pour un tour de formation. Theo Palmer qui s'est imposé hier. Matteo Dauvergne qui, lui, est pour l'instant 8e au classement provisoire puisqu'il n'a pas encore couru, il n'a pas encore marqué ses points. Mais on va avoir une vision plus complète, évidemment, après cette deuxième manche de qualification sur le classement intermédiaire de cette catégorie junior. Voilà les pilotes qui sont aux ordres maintenant des différents marshals, des différents commissaires de piste pour bien former les deux colonnes de cette grille de départ et ensuite bien respecter les consignes et l'accélération jusqu'à la ligne qui est validée ensuite par le directeur de course Manuel Branco.
We line up again as we head down the Chemin-au-Boeuf straight. As we look now, I mean, before we get on to the rest of the drivers, I don't know. Apparently, Dan Hart's bedroom back in Dubai has got posters of Ash Orchard all over the wall. Big posters of Ash's face. I'm not quite sure why. Apparently, he's cut a hole in part of the face. I will tell you which one. It's only a small hole, however. I don't know. Rumours. Just rumours. Only rumours. Here we go. We come through the paddock. Virage to paddock. Palmer, Dauvergne, Omaitre, the plain white kart. Mathieu Omaitre from France likes to represent Senegal, his homeland. And we're into the tram line once again.
Et cette fois, c'est bon.
Here we go. Lights are out. We are off and racing. And Senegal P2 into turn 1 behind Theo Palmer. And now this is a real good test for Theo Palmer. He's won a race already. Now, can he lead from the front, control the nerves, control the competition, and control 35 other hungry junior Rotax drivers right from the word go? Very important indeed.
Oh là 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 là, attention, ça va revenir.
Oui. In the middle of the track.
Yeah, c'est Omaitre qui a été un petit peu poussé, je pense, par Matteo Dauvergne au freinage du banking et il a perdu le contrôle de son kart. Malheureusement, Mathis Omaitre qui repart en dernière position de ce peloton alors que l'on n'a pas encore couvert un tour et que Theo Palmer du coup eh bien se retrouve largement en tête.
What I was going to say, well spotted there, Eric, but Omaitre, he may be last, but he can thank his lucky stars because, there's more contact coming out of turn number 1. That was an MKC Motorsport kart, possibly a Matteo Natino. Well, Omaitre spinning backwards up the track and stopping in the middle of a corner in front of 30 other drivers, all of whom missed him. That is a lucky escape, if you look at it some ways. And Omaitre, who at the moment has dropped out of the top 10, well, Theo Palmer would be starting second on the grid for the Superheat as things stand. Although, as I look up, I think Palmer may have lost. Nope, there goes Palmer across the line. He would have 136 points, so that is the best that he could do. This is for a place on the outside of row 1 of the Superheat for Theo Palmer. Omaitre, meanwhile, he came across the line 36th at the end of lap number 1. He's already picked up 1 position because sadly Rafael Youssef for the Sodi Kart team in kart number 231, the BRK Sodi Kart team is out of the race already. Omaitre is able to start picking his way back up the field. Can he get back into the top 8 in the point standings?
Mathis-Omètre qui est lancé dans une folle remontée. Il a déjà repris du terrain et il est au milieu du peloton. Maintenant, c'est vrai que pour aller chercher une place importante au niveau du capital point marqué, ça va être compliqué pour le pilote du kart 293, mais il n'abdique pas, il est au milieu du peloton, il se ferait un chemin et il va dépasser, encouragé évidemment par ses supporters et son équipe sur le bord de la piste, alors que devant, eh bien c'est sous contrôle, hein. C'est le moins qu'on puisse dire pour Théo Palmer qui compte quasiment une seconde d'avance sur Matteo D'Auvergne, et Peruzzi et Maximov qui sont lancés à la poursuite du français, mais pour l'instant ça reste infructueux. Complète le top 5 Kay Clark.
Fastest lap, surprise, surprise, Maxim Kerwin for the third race in succession. Oh, and somebody has parked against the barriers out on the banking, getting back underway. Oh, that was Lorenzo Giaquinto in kart 280. The MKC Motorsport team having a bit of a rough start. Maxim Kerwin, well, Ed Matthews has lit the proverbial fire under Maxim Kerwin's backside, and suddenly Maxim, well, he's having the day of his life so far, the weekend of his life so far, because he was fast yesterday. If only he learned how to qualify, the New Zealander would be a major factor here in juniors. As it is, he's done it again. 55.583 seconds. You know, this is sometimes where a driver, and you know, all these young drivers that, you know, the mechanics are on there, will be agreeing with me. There comes a weekend where suddenly everything clicks. You're trying to coach your drivers, tell the drivers what to do, and it can get frustrating when they don't listen. And then you think, oh, will they ever get it? And then suddenly, boom, it all falls into place. Is this the weekend? It all falls into place for Maxim Kerwin. He's already gained 9 positions, and he is going faster than anybody else on the circuit once again. Boaz Maximov in third takes the fastest lap away from Kerwin, but Kerwin, don't forget, is in thick traffic. Maximov, the second kart on your screen, the green and white Tony kart, he is just chasing the race leaders.
Oui, Maximov qui est en train de faire une très belle remontée vers les avant-postes avec, il y a quelques instants, il était au contact de Matteo D'Auvergne dans cette partie du tracé là où on va vers le banking. C'était un petit peu moins performant, mais il revient au bout de la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf, le virage du paddock ici, et on va retrouver ces 3 pilotes très largement détachés. Théo Palmer qui semblait irrémédiablement en tête et largement dépassé, et bien voit revenir maintenant Matteo D'Auvergne qui vient de signer le meilleur temps. Il a senti la menace Maximov se préciser, du coup il accélère et il revient au contact de Théo Palmer qui va s'imposer entre ces 3 garçons. Palmer, D'Auvergne, Maximov, le suspense est entier du côté de notre malheureux pilote français. Alors où est-il, le 293? Je ne le vois plus. Bref, on va le retrouver. Voilà, Mathis-Omètre, oui, il est reparti en 32e position, donc il a dû se passer quelque chose parce qu'il était remonté aux alentours de la 23e position.
Yeah, Omaitre now picking up places, left hand over fist. There's the move. Oh, it was a late lunge from Matthew D'Auvergne. That was a deep dive. The last time I saw a dive that deep, they ended up finding the Titanic. And at the outside of the final corner, JJ Ambrose has had a crash and he is in the wall. The youngster in his very first weekend in a full-size kart. He was doing really, really well, but I'm trying to think together. There was an MKC Motorsport driver coming across the start-finish line, but JJ is there already up and out of the kart and walking away. So sadly, he is out of the race. Looking down to see, well, D'Auvergne has now obviously in the race lead, and he would start second on the grid. Theo Palmer would now start 4th on the grid. Still Boaz Maximov there, 3rd on the road. He would be 6th overall on the Superheat grid, but it is D'Auvergne from Palmer and Maximov, and I'm wondering, well, it's either 2nd or 4th on the grid for Theo Palmer. I would want to try and get back in front of D'Auvergne. to make sure that I'm on the front row of the grid for tomorrow's Superheat.
D'Auvergne qui donne tout, hein. Maintenant qu'il est aux commandes de la course, on le voit vraiment attaquer au maximum. Il a signé, je vous le rappelle, le meilleur temps lors de son dernier passage sur la ligne de chronométrage, 54,737 pour le Français. Et on le voit vraiment utiliser tous les centimètres, le moindre centimètre de la piste pour soigner absolument ses trajectoires, tenter de se mettre à l'abri d'un retour de Théo Palmer, parce qu'on va rentrer dans le dernier tour, me semble-t-il, ou des deux derniers tours. On va le savoir dans quelques instants, mais là, Matteo d'Auvergne, il fait une fin de course très très costaud, très musclé. Voilà pour ce passage sur la ligne. Voilà le dernier tour effectivement pour Matteo d'Auvergne qui vient encore une fois d'améliorer son chrono. Je vous le disais, il était à l'attaque maximale, 54,546. Théo Palmer est toujours en deuxième position. Maximoff est troisième. Peruzzi quatrième. Clark cinquième. Et entre le quatrième et le cinquième, à mon avis, c'est pas encore fini.
I can say d'Auvergne setting a new fastest lap of the race on the penultimate lap. We're now on the final lap through the Maison Blanche S's. Theo Palmer, though, is closing in. This race is not over yet. So d'Auvergne did a very, very late lunge into Virage Technopark a couple of laps ago. Will Palmer try the same? Oh, he thinks about it. d'Auvergne is defending. Can Palmer do the cutback coming onto the start-finish straight? I don't think he's got time. No, not quite. d'Auvergne hangs on. And, 3 wide behind as they cross the line. d'Auvergne wins by 0.09 of a second over Theo Palmer. With Boaz Maximov third. Leonidas Peruzzi has, I say finally woken up. He's finally sort of getting to grips with the level of aggression that you need at these high level events, which bodes really well for the Grand Finals later this year, of course, which Leonidas and his brother Achilles have already qualified for. And Kai Clark, good result for Kai in 5th position. Casper Nissen, Noah Janssen, Antoine Grisel, Lilian Suarez, Yuri Levar from 23rd to 10th. Then other drivers to note, well, surprise, surprise, gaining 13 places. Maxim Kirwan in 14th, but let's have a look back at some of the highlights in a moment. Matisse Ometre there finishes 31st. He was higher than that after his early race spin, but I believe he may have been involved in the incident with Matteo Notino and JJ Ambrose. Let's have a look. This is where, oh my word. Now I didn't see that, and well, Mr. Ometre did not spin on his own, and I will say no more about that. This was early defensive driving there. Theo Palmer having a great start. d'Auvergne in second, having to catch up, and d'Auvergne did catch up. There's the move by Maximov. Maximov trying to make the move, but eventually he would get past Theo Palmer and takes a very close win on the road. But I have a feeling that one might run a little bit afterwards. We shall say no more. That concludes Junior Rotax in terms of the heat races. 5 to go. Next up, it's Minimax.
So here is Jerome. Now, Jerome, I found myself a Formula car.
Yeah.
Extreme Limit. What are you doing here? One of the partners for the International Trophy?
Yeah, today we are a partner of Harem Saiti, and we are school driving with 30 years of experience now, so we have a lot of experience. Yeah. And we propose to discover the F4, F4, and so you can begin to 10 laps for testing, or we are able to manage a week, complete week for you. It depends.
So you mean if I want to do some testing or train, like I see a lot of the kids looking, it's a Formula car, you've got a coaching clinic about, you told me maybe 2 hours away towards Nantes. Is that near the sea?
Yeah, the track is calling it Fête Bretagne. It's near Nantes, the town, and it's from 2 hours of Le Mans.
Okay.
So it's next to.
And also, I'm a bit older than most of the drivers, but okay, so how do you know if they're able to drive the car? Is it because of their age, or how does it work?
No, the most important is to have pleasure inside. So you can test just for a few, just tasting for your life and for your experience.
Okay.
But if you want to do the championship, it's possible too.
Okay. And also, how old should they be?
Sorry.
How old should the drivers be?
No, it's not the old is important. It's the taller of the driver. Yes, 1.50 m is quite good. But the young driver are 14 or 15 years old.
Okay. And this weekend, I know there's a little bit of a deal.
Yeah.
So maybe I can get a bit cheaper if I book something?
Yeah, we open a special date for the end of the year in September, October and November. 10 dates in total. And we have a special prices for formulas 40 laps.
Okay.
So if you want some advice, you can come see me.
Okay, well, I think so, because I haven't actually been in the Formula car, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
What type of car is it? I mean, what model or make of the car?
Yeah, is it a Miguel, a Formula 4, F4. And we have 180 horsepower for 100 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds great. Anyone that wants some training, here it is, Extreme Limit.
Yes.
On the internet, they can find you?
ExtremeLimit.com, yes, of course.
30 years of experience and coaching, testing, training.
Yeah, we have an engineer. He's coming to he's coming to test and you able to manage you. Yes, we have a simulator to coaching with the car and the simulator.
It's a really good idea for anyone that's interested, rather than just go and say, okay, I'm going to make a test.
Yeah.
First, they do a little bit of practice in the background, but it's great to have you here as a partner.
Yeah.
I know it's important because everyone has a dream, and for some, this is the dream or the start.
Yeah.
So, yes, nice to see you.
Yes, nice to
Jerome is the guy, and he has the deals.
Yeah, and we are very happy to meet you.
Thank you. Happy to meet you too. We're going to go to the grid, so good luck, and yes, we'll see you for a little bit of training.
Okay, see you soon.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you very much indeed, Jen Wade, as we look ahead to the next race. Now, at the end of the last Minimax heat, I do hope that we will have Helena Oswald out there. Helena was the young lady who rolled her go-kart, and there were several other drivers that came to her aid. I saw Helena during the lunch break, and I think the kart is fixed. I think Helena was still a little bit undecided, shall we say, about whether she goes back out. I said, well, the best thing to do is to go back out there. You know, the longer you take to get back in a kart, the more worried you'll be. Albert Friend got a penalty for jumping the restart, which, I mean, up here in the commentary box, I've got to say, we thought he timed the restart absolutely perfectly. But we don't make the rules, which is a shame. But Albie Friend has won on the road. Emerson McAndrew Urant. Now you talk about advertising. Dan Holland Racing is ahead of the game. They've got Dan Holland Racing umbrellas, and that would be Wayne McAndrew Urans modelling the Dan Holland Racing umbrella. You said earlier, Mojo and Rotax need to provide every team and driver either a Mojo or a Rotax umbrella, and only branded umbrellas from the equipment providers should be allowed. But they've missed a marketing opportunity. But Eric, you were very keen. Someone that is involved in bike racing where nobody misses a marketing opportunity. You were straight on it. So let's have a look at the starting line up. Who's that trying to get their glove on? Is it on the right way? He's struggling. Let's just try. Yep. Is our glove on? Give us a thumbs up if your glove's on. A nod. Yes, thumbs up, gloves on. Right, get in your go-kart and go driving then. Who is that? Go on, get in. Come on, we're waiting for you. In.
Visiblement, on a un pilote qui fait de la résistance et qui va s'installer au dernier moment dans son kart.
Stubborn little child. He's telling me to shush. Look at that. He's telling me to shush. And I'm getting abuse left, right and centre. Who is that driver? I will find you. Here we go then. It's Albie Friend in kart number 191. We think it may be... Is it Alex Goodson or Filip Kianowski? It was. I think we're looking at it. It could have been Kianowski. I think we'll check next time by. Here's your starting lineup. Then it is Albie Friend and Emerson McAndrew Uren on the front row of the grid. Then it is Derek Babicek and Tom Reed on row number 2. Michael Zions and Ari Kallenberg on row 3. Harry Taylor and Anton Bouchard on row 4. Jensen Chalk and Luan Seidel on row 5, Oliver Spencer and Vince van der Hallen on row 6, then Patrikas Josius, and it was Patrikas Josius who was giving me grief, trying to get his race suit on, the Lithuanian. Well, that's all right, there he is, his gold crash helmet, looks like Iron Man, the crash helmet, so I better not upset him too much, he might come and beat me up. Behind Josius, we've got Martin Soltis, Alex Goodson, Vic Van Kampenhout and Filip Kianowski, Archie Rogers-Tyler and Riley Murrow, Fariz Haroon and Jeff Verbeek, then Lucas Stordeur, Ray Haber, Alexander Rachkovsky, Boris Maraglanda, Emilian Buhl, one of the drivers that stopped to help Helena Oswald earlier on, followed by Miyazaki, Juan Camilo Reyes Garcon, another driver that stopped to help, Kimi May, Kalyoyin Goshev, Armando Latour, Stylianos Georgiou, who did stop and help, another driver that stopped to help Helena, who has not gone out. Dominic Takash, Nikola Djordjevic and Ruslan Sria Aisa are the remaining runners. I do hope that Helena is okay. That's the main thing. She can worry about getting back in her kart again, but I hope she's okay. So, the grid, the point standings, it's a tie between Albert Friend and Danik Babicek, 82 points, Oliver Spencer, 80, Jensen Chalk, 75, Zions and Taylor, 70, Reed, 66, Soltis, 62. So still all to play for in Minimax in terms of who starts on pole for the Superheat. Oh, and there's somebody slowing down. Somebody in the middle of the pack slowing down. Couldn't quite see who it was. It was definitely a Tony Kart. No. False start. Now, trying to look over. Oh, it's Lucas Stordeur, the number 117, the Belgian driver, the Bovan Power driver. Well, Bovan, no power at the moment. Oh no, Stordeur out of the race.
Voilà, on a malheureusement un abandon dans ce tour de formation avec le départ qui a été invalidé et donc c'est Lucas Stordeur qui malheureusement abandonne avant même le début de la course suite à un problème mécanique et il est obligé, un problème technique en tout cas, et il est obligé de rentrer son kart à la poussette dans la voie des stands. Et de fait, il ne pourra pas participer à cette dernière course de qualification pour la catégorie mini. Pendant ce temps-là, le peloton s'est reformé pour préparer ce nouveau départ lancé. On le voyait venir, hein, la grille avait été quelque peu désordonnée. Et on a tout de suite compris que le départ ne serait pas validé par le directeur de course. En tout cas, là, on est reparti et de fait, au lieu d'avoir 36 cartes sur la grille, on n'en a plus que 34 puisqu'on vous rappelle que Helena Oswald, qui avait été impliquée dans l'accident ce matin, son carte s'était retournée, a décidé de ne pas prendre le départ. On espère qu'elle va bien évidemment, et surtout qu'elle pourra revenir très rapidement en piste. Allez, on se rapproche du départ. Henry, ça va partir très vite entre Albert Friend et Emerson McAndrew Uren. Cette fois, c'est validé.
Lights are out, we are off and racing. Friend makes a good start. McAndrew Uren tries to come across, but Babicek closes the gap there. McAndrew Uren runs a little bit wide at the back of the field. One or two drivers taking to the escape road, but they all get back on clearly. It is Friend from Babicek from McAndrew Uren. As for Albert Friend, it's a case of stay ahead of Zdenek Babicek, and pole position for the Superheat is secured. For Emerson McAndrew-Uren, it is try and salvage. Obviously, lost points this morning. The higher he finishes, the better. And he is having a little look around the outside, going on to the banking. Tries the undercut on Babicek, coming through turns 9 and 10 onto the Cheminot Booth straight. And Emerson McAndrew-Uren looks to the inside. Not quite, and that will help Albert Friend, who is already trying to scurry away with Spencer. Oliver Spencer making a good progress behind as well, and that's Spencer up from 11th on the grid to 4th.
Allez, très très bon début de course pour Albert Friend qui évidemment profite de la bagarre entre Babicek et McAndrew-Uren qui s'explique derrière et qui perdent évidemment du terrain. Et derrière, c'est chaud aussi avec Oliver Spencer qui a réalisé un très bon premier tour et qui est remonté en 4e position. Il a gagné 7 places depuis son emplacement sur la grille et il est à la bagarre avec Harry Taylor, Luan Seidel et Jenson Schalk qui sont là encore aussi très très pressants. Rien n'est fait bien évidemment dans ce groupe de chasse, mais attention à McAndrew-Uren qui met de plus en plus la pression sur Babicek, et Babicek qui a été dépassé maintenant. Babicek en 3e position.
Emerson McAndrew-Uren would currently start the Superheat from P8 as things stand, and that is by no means game over. And I know that I don't know what the problem was with Emerson McAndrew-Uren's kart that prevented him, that saw him retire on the rolling lap. Whatever it was, I know that his dad Wayne, who mechanics wonderfully well for M, will be blaming himself as he always does. It's not often that the dads blame themselves, but Wayne blames himself all the time, even when it's not his fault. But I'm sure that Emma would sort of look behind his glass and go, "Don't worry, Dad, I got you." And indeed he has. It is not game over. Albert Friend continues to lead. Zdenek Babicek trying to push McAndrew-Uren away. Behind the top three, Spencer, at that fantastic start, runs 4th. Harry Taylor, who's having a blinding season for the Dan Holland team, runs in 5th. Luan Seidel from Switzerland is 6th. Reed, 7th. Then the all-black kart of Ari Kallenberg, who runs in 8th position. Rowley Murrow and Anton Bouchard are next. Luan Seidel in the number 137 kart. That is the Tarkan Fetchutlovsky entered EKS chassis. So that's the black machine going through there. Oh, Emerson McAndrew-Uren, new fastest lap, 58.806 seconds.
Allez, Albert Friend qui impose son rythme en haut de la hiérarchie, même si Emerson McAndrew-Uren vient de signer le meilleur temps à l'instant, 58.806 pour le pilote britannique. Et derrière, eh bien, on retrouve Babicek qui essaye de garder le contact avec les deux pilotes britanniques qui sont devant lui. Babicek qui a cette position assez particulière. Regardez, quand il passe dans les virages, il est vraiment très très couché à l'extérieur du virage qu'il négocie, et on a tout de suite tendance à le repérer. Babicek. Derrière lui, eh bien, on retrouve Oliver Spencer, Harry Taylor et Tom Reed. Jenson Schalk est toujours en 7e position.
Too sweet, no thank you, I'm on a diet. Here we go. Friend continues to lead from McAndrew-Uren. Here's is the battle further back in the pack. Through the the Cover des Duchan corner. That's about 15th, 16th place. That was Kianowski, Soltis, Patrikas, Josius. I have to say, Slovakia, the Soltis brothers are showing lots of speed here. Not quite as much luck as they would like. Both of the brothers, Martin and Michael, qualified for the Rotax Grand Finals last year. And they're certainly capable of doing so again. The ticket might not come at this event. They are not quite where they need to be here, but I'm sure that we will see them in Sarno. They qualify maybe through the Slovakian Championship, which is a very competitive championship indeed, as Oliver Spencer starts working over Zdenek Babicek. Babicek defending. This is releasing McAndrew-Uren and Friend, and it is bringing Harry Taylor and Tom Reed into play. We're going to have a 4-kart battle for third position before too long. And the TEPS racing entry, TEPS, T-E-P-Z, that stands for Teresa, Amelia, Petra, Teresa, Aliska, Petra, and Zenek, the 4 Babicek children who all race. So Zenek's going to have his hands full here. He checks over his shoulder. Here comes Spencer and Harry Taylor trying to do it again with 2 karts around the outside. Not quite yet. Reed takes advantage. Put the farmer into P5.
Wow, Taylor qui a tenté une manœuvre de dépassement incroyable. Il a voulu prendre 3 cartes d'un coup au freinage de la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf. Ça n'est pas passé. Babicek pour l'instant qui résiste toujours, mais c'est de plus en plus difficile. Avec derrière lui un Oliver Spencer véritablement déchaîné. On a vu 2-3 fois les cartes se toucher. Mais en tout cas, Babicek, là, il est sur plus que la défensive. Oh là, il est un peu large, mais ça ne passe pas pour l'instant pour Spencer. Est-ce que ça va le faire là? Je ne crois pas. Mais en tout cas, c'est très, très limite pour Babicek qui devrait céder, je pense, sous les assauts répétés de Spencer.
Well, Babicek is going to get a warning flag for excessive defending by the looks of it. Spencer and the battle behind Babicek, well, it goes all the way back to Vince van der Hallen in 11th position. Anton Bouchard is in that battle. Meanwhile, up at the front, as we start lap number 8, do you know something? Emerson McAndrew-Uren is closing on Albert Friend. 57.6. 9-9 for Emerson McAndrew-Uren. He is in the slipstream of the Strawberry Racing Kart at the head of this field. But look at this freight train. It is Babicek, Spencer, Reed, Taylor, Chalk, Siegel, Murrow, Bouchard, Van der Hallen, Goodson, Zions, and Soltis, all the way back to 14th. Babicek is certainly making that go-kart very, very wide, but up at the front, well, this is something we haven't seen. Champion versus champion. Last year's Minimax champion versus last year's Micromax champion. Strawberry Racing versus Dan Holland. Ding ding, ring the dinner bell, game on.
Et Spencer est passé sur Babicek. Il a trouvé l'ouverture, mais attention, est-ce que Babicek va répliquer dans la ligne droite? Il a été un petit peu tassé, mais Spencer qui défend sa ligne. Alors est-ce que Babicek va pouvoir reprendre son bien, c'est-à-dire la 3e position, alors que derrière, oh là là, derrière c'est très 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 chaud, avec notamment Tom Reed qui essaye de trouver l'ouverture par tous les moyens. Et de fait, eh bien, Spencer et Babicek ont réussi à se mettre un petit peu à l'écart. Nous sommes dans le dernier tour.
Well, Spencer somehow has got, and Babicek is now pushing Spencer away after all that defending. But here we go, through turn 9 and 10, onto the Mini Mulsanne in Minimax. Friend having to defend. McAndrew-Uren goes in high, wide and handsome. Friend defends. Now it's going to be a drag race to the line between Albert Friend and Emerson McAndrew-Uren. It's Friends win, McAndrew-Uren second, a thumbs up between them, and we wait. Who has got third place? It's Spencer by 6 thousandths over Reed. Fantastic. What happened to Babicek? He comes home in 9th.
Ça a été très très chaud dans le dernier virage. On était focalisé sur l'arrivée des premiers, avec Albert Friend qui s'est imposé pour 92 millièmes seulement, alors que Babicek a dû céder aux assauts. Ça a dû se frotter un petit peu, se frictionner, parce que Babicek il était 4e et il termine en 9e position.
Wow, as you look at the results on your screen, I can tell you unofficially that move into third place for Oliver Spencer puts the KR Sport driver on the outside of the front row for the superheat. Alongside Albie Friend, Babicek drops to third in the point standings, with Jensen Chalk 4th, and Emerson McAndrew-Uren will provisionally start 6th alongside Tom Reed, with Martin Soltis and Andorra's Anton Bouchard rounding out the top 8 in points. This was the start of the race, and Emerson McAndrew-Uren made quick work of Denek Babicek. Friend made a good start, but McAndrew-Uren had to try and work his way around. He did eventually do that, but look at the lead that Friend had built up. Now, I'm not saying that Albert Friend was shoving it. There's Spencer making a great start, but once McAndrew-Uren was able to get past Babicek, it took him a while, but there's the move up the inside going on to the banking, and the gap that Friend had was over a second. Bit by bit, McAndrew-Uren was able to close this in. This is Babicek defending for Spencer. Spencer goes, okay, you defend there. I am going to look up the inside. Taylor had a go at trying to make it too wide, but eventually Spencer, I go to the outside, and then I'm going to cross over and do the undercut coming out of turn number 3. There it goes. And Albert Friend, he did have to defend a little bit from Emerson McAndrew-Uren. I reckon that neither Friend nor McAndrew-Uren showed their full hand of cards in that one, because they want to keep their number 1 tricks up their sleeve for the final. Now back down to Jen Wade in pit lane.
Four, 3, 2. Just a quick question. No, I really just want to stand under your umbrella, to be honest.
Being used again.
How hot is it?
It's too hot for somebody from England.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of people melting. The kids are having fun?
Sometimes.
Yeah. But that was a good race. The last race, I think, was it 3rd position?
We got a penalty at the top corner, so I think I'm not sure where we've ended up yet, but yes, 3rd on track.
How important now for the points in this race, for the positions?
No, not so much. It's still quite close. So top 3, top 4 after today, I think.
Have to ask you, did you expect pole position here in Le Mans?
It was so close.
I know.
Yeah. No, did I expect it? No. Did I want it? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Henry Baudet knows who you are. A lot of people watching know who you are. Anyone you'd like to say hi to at home?
I'll get wrong if I don't say hi to Grandad and Nana and Papa and all those good supporters. And Logan, who's here, but she also gets upset if she doesn't get a mention, doesn't she, Austin?
Yeah, Austin. So we've said hello to everyone. Did we miss anybody? Did we miss anybody when we said hello?
No, not really.
Not really?
No.
Yeah? Okay. We talk a little bit with Austin before, also for the pole position. You having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. How hot do you think it is right now? If you had to guess, how many degrees?
31 degrees.
31 degrees. That's hot, isn't it?
Hotter than England would be.
Hotter than England will be. Okay. That's
yes.
but it's summer.
Still, most I've ever been in England's probably 29 degrees.
29 degrees, that's the most it's ever been in England.
For me.
Yeah. Okay, what's the plan now?
To get a top 3 so we can get a good position for the pre-final and get as far up as we can in the final.
Yeah. You met any new friends this weekend?
No, we've just been around the garage and just stayed there.
Yeah, around the garage. But you'll meet some friends. I think there's a party. I think there's a party this afternoon on the track. You can get some free drinks.
No alcohol there.
Non-alcoholic, of course, for the micros and the minis and everybody, juniors, they're not allowed to have alcohol. It's just a cool little party with a little bit of music. I think there's a DJ. So anyone at home, come on down to Le Mans. Enjoy the party this afternoon. Will we see you there?
Yeah, hopefully.
Only if you promise
Hopefully. It's going to be great. It's going to be cooler. So Dad will bring you, okay?
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Austin Oman, thank you so much.
Can I take it for him?
I can take it. I think I might keep it.
It's for her.
Well, there on your screens there. Driver number 13, Atika Mia, the Queen of Kashmir. Now, we will talk about that very shortly. We'll look at some of the other drivers. However, this morning in heat number 2, Alfie Mir suffered an exclusion. So Atika Mia, driver number 13, the young lady from Kashmir in India, becomes the first female ever to win a race in the Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy. We talk about diversity and inclusion in this sport all the time. Well, you are looking at one of the people who is spearheading that cause for diversity and inclusion. We have got some great young ladies in this race, but now and forevermore, when they write the history books of this event, Atika Mia will go down as the first female race winner in the history of this event. I truly hope she will not be the last. In fact, I know she won't be the last. There's so much talent. We may even have a couple of female winners this weekend, because not only is Atika Mia, Ava Lawrence and Maria Roberto good in this class, you've got Imke Arts right at the front of DD2. So you've got the youngest drivers in the slowest carts, the girls doing really well there, and then in the biggest carts with the fastest carts, you've got the girls doing really well in that as well. Excellent, and I have to say, it's about damn time. Here we go with your starting lineup for this next race. We've just heard from him on the grid. Austin Oman from the Sam Pollitt Racing team. There he sits with his wonderful logo on the iridium visor that he's wearing. Oman and Joshua Cook on row number 1. Hungary's Dominic Rosa in cart 24 and Charlie Page in cart 15. We'll watch Charlie as he comes out across the start-finish line. He'll look across just to see where Mum is standing. There is the tradition, the Page family tradition. And on row number 3, Achilles Peruzzi and Matthias Drexler. Alfie Mir, vengeance on his mind, will start next with Mark Quesada. Baptiste Augustine and Atika Mia are next. Then it's Maria Roberto and Felix Chang from the Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan. Pedro Faria, Ava Lawrence, followed by Max Emilian Rachkowski, Jan Wozniak, Simon Villegas, Maximilian Kiel, Harris Barber, Jensen Walker, Andreas Kjellerup, Albie J. Stubbs, Jules Chech, Jensen Happy Hammond, Alex Baroni, Max Moore, Paul Twinard, Paul Schutzman, Kenzo Greenholt, Theo Esquirel, Theo Stendile, Tristan Abils, Marjan Djokic from Montenegro, another history-making driver here, the first Montenegrin driver to qualify for this event. Georges Pialat, just Theo Constantinou, and at the back of the grid, driver that passed almost the whole field earlier on, Benedictus Masiokas. 9 laps. At the moment, Charlie Page leads the point standings on 82 points. Austin Oman second, Atika Mia third, Josh Cook, Dominic Rosa, Mark Quesada, Felix Chang and Matthias Drexler would be your top 8 starters, but there's a long 9 laps to go to sort out the grid for the Soup Heat tomorrow. Eric Sellis.
Allez, c'est validé. Voilà le départ qui est validé avec Austin Oman qui va tenter de conserver cette... c'est chaud là dans le premier virage. Ça vient roue contre roue quasiment, mais Oman qui garde le contact alors que c'est parti un peu large derrière, mais finalement tout le monde est revenu sur la piste. Austin Oman devant normalement Joshua Cook, me semble-t-il, le numéro 5. On va tenter de confirmer ça. Non, c'est pas lui, c'est Dominic Rosa qui est en deuxième position. Et derrière, eh bien, tout le monde est passé sans encombre, me semble-t-il.
Well, it was LBJ Stubbs who went for a spin at turn number 1. He continues in the third of the 3 Zip Factory carts. But up at the front, it is Austin Oman. And that is the black and red, number 24, KF Racing Team Croc chassis of Dominic Rosa. The Mad Croc is, or the Croc Promotions cart is certainly sharpening its teeth at the front of the field. Josh Cook is third, and Alfie Mayer and Charlie Page side by side for fourth position. And Page holds on to fourth with Baptiste Augustine, Matthias Drexler, and Maria Roberto now. Wow, she's saying, Attica, I like you, but I'm not letting you have all the credit. And she is now the leading young lady, just in front of Ava Lawrence, with Quesada, Peruzzi, Faria, Chang, then Mia, Keel, Walker, and Rachkovski.
Allez, toujours les 3 jeunes loups aux avant-postes de cette catégorie micro. Austin Oman, Dominic Rosa et Josh Cook qui sont quand même assez largement détachés du reste du peloton, avec Alfie Mayer qui est solitaire 4e pour l'instant. Et derrière, attention à l'attaque de Baptiste Augustin, me semble-t-il. Est-ce qu'il est passé, Baptiste Augustin? On va voir si ça sera le cas ou pas. On va attendre le passage sur la ligne de chronométrage. Pour l'instant, pas de changement. Si Josh Cook est passé, c'est Charlie Page qui a pris la 4e position, et Ava Lawrence également. Maria Roberto est en 6e position. C'est Baptiste Augustin qui perd une position. Il est désormais 7e.
There are your top 3. Oh, Austin Oman runs a little bit wide coming out of turn number 3. Cook has the lead, Oman second, followed by Rosa, then a bit of a gap developing back to Charlie Page, and then it's our new 5th place driver, Maria Roberto. So she has just moved over to KR Sports, and she is motoring. The young lady whose family are from Salerno in Italy, lives in the UK. She's got Alice in Wonderland characters all over the top of her crash helmet. She's just in front of Australia's Ava Lawrence, and what's that song? Here Come the Girls. Well, here come the girls in Micromax. There they go through the chicane. They behind them, they got Baptiste Augustine, Mayer, Peruzzi, Quesada, Walker, and the rest. Attica Mia has dropped back to 25th. Oh, they're 4 wide coming across the start-finish line. And Rosa now passes Oman for second. Josh Cook is currently at the front of the point standings by 3 markers over Austin Oman, with Page third. So it would be Cook on pole for the superheat if things finished as they run at the moment, which is highly unlikely.
Josh Cook et non pas Josh Hook, c'est autre chose, ça c'est de la moto, mais c'est du côté de Suzuka ce week-end. Josh Cook qui est aux commandes de la course avec Rosa qui a semble-t-il pris le meilleur avec un très très bon deuxième secteur chronométré pour Dominic Rosa, le numéro 24. On va voir ce que ça va donner sur la ligne de chronométrage, mais peut-être le meilleur tour en course pour le numéro 24 dans quelques secondes. Dominic Rosa, oui, 1:00:607.
And there was a hands in the air there from, I think that was Alfie Mayer. Mark Quesada sort of closing the door on him as he went to make a move, and Mayer over the curbs. Rosa on the rear bump of the race leader now, new fastest lap, 60.607 seconds, and Charlie Page following them at a distance in 4th place. It is still Roberto 5th, Lawrence 6th, then Augustine, Quesada, Mayer, Peruzzi. So Achilles Peruzzi just watched his older brother Leonidas drive very, very well in Minimax, and now Achilles showing that he is just as quick. Here comes Rosa though, and Rosa doesn't look to the inside. One of the very few drivers, if not the only driver, on a Croc kart here. And we've got a move coming on behind. As you'll look back at the start-finish straight, you'll see a new driver in P4, and it's Ava Lawrence for the Strawberry Racing Team. She's passed Page and Roberto, and up into P4.
Page qui a été au large dans le virage le freinage de la ligne droite du chemin à Aubeu et qui a été un petit peu juste pour revenir sur la piste, ce qui a profité à Ava Lawrence. En tout cas, c'est bien parti pour Ava Lawrence et pour la jante féminine dans cette course. Mais attention aussi aux avant-postes avec Dominique Rosa qui est vraiment très pressant dans le pare-choc arrière de Josh Cook. Josh Cook qui va devoir s'employer pour résister à la pression qui lui est imprimée par Dominique Rosa. Dominique Rosa vraiment très près et on sent qu'à la moindre opportunité, le pilote du kart numéro 24 va en profiter, peut-être ici à l'intérieur. Non, Cook qui ferme la porte de façon autoritaire et Rosa qui doit se maintenir en deuxième position.
Yeah, Cook closing the door firmly on Rosa, who once again sets a new fastest lap as we start lap 7 out of 9. Austin Oman is 1.2 seconds back in third position. Then there's a bigger gap of 2.8 seconds back to Ava Lawrence, who has been caught once again by Maria Roberto. Charlie Page is sixth. Then it's Augustine Quesada, Mir and Max Moore, your top 10. Felix Chang has slipped back to 16th position. And we've got, Theo Esquinel has become another retirement in this race. Sadly, the French driver in kart number 23 has retired to join, he's the only retirement in the race so far. But as we start lap number 8 out of 9 in the final Micromax heat of the day, Cook, he looks over his shoulder, has a little look to see where Rosa is. The answer is sitting about 6 inches off his rear bumper.
Et c'est toujours la grosse bagarre en tête entre Cook et Rosa. Cook qui se retourne pour voir où est son adversaire, mais il doit même entendre son kart tellement l'écart est faible entre les deux pilotes. Derrière, on a Austin Oman qui est solitaire troisième et qui ne pourra pas revenir sur les deux hommes de tête et qui ne sera pas inquiété pour conserver cette position jusqu'à la fin de la course, parce que derrière, Ava Lawrence en quatrième position est elle aussi détachée, mais beaucoup trop loin pour revenir inquiéter Oman pour le gain de cette troisième position. Allez, on va rentrer dans le dernier tour entre Cook et Rosa. C'est maintenant ou jamais pour le pilote du kart numéro 24, pour Rosa, pour trouver l'ouverture et tenter d'aller chercher la victoire dans cette manche qualificative. Mais attention, Cook jusqu'à présent a toujours repoussé les assauts de Rosa et on peut encore parier sur la résistance du jeune britannique.
Into the curve d'Edouchon for the final time. Cook continues to lead. He's just set a new fastest lap, 60.045 seconds, but Rosa has not moved off his rear bumper yet. There, through the Maison Blanche S's, out onto the banking. Cook defends going into the banking, has to keep it tight coming out to stop Rosa from getting the undercut off him, but Dominic Rosa will have a great run down the Cheminot Bouffe straight. He jigs wide, he cuts back to the inside. Oh, they both run a little bit wide. Cook comes back on and closes the door. There was a little bit of door handling going on there, and it's a drag race to the line. Cook covers off the inside to take the checkered flag and the win from Dominic Rosa. Austin Oman third, and there's the best result so far for Ava Lawrence, and that finish puts Ava into P6 in the points table. She will there'll be an all-female third row of the grid, because Cook, as things stand, would have pole in the superheat, followed by Oman. Row 2 would be Page and Rosa, and then Attica Mia and Ava Lawrence would start on row 3, Mark Quesada and Felix Chang on row 4. There is a look at your provisional results. Now, we said Attica Mia dropped back to 25th. She recovers to finish 16th. Happy Hammond finishes 18th, gaining 8 places. And the only Norwegian driver here, Theo Steindal, gains 10 positions up to 21st. However, the biggest mover of all was Max Moore, the German in kart number 88, the RF racing driver. He goes from 26th to 11th. And sadly, we lost Andreas Kellerup from that race, the driver that finished runner-up to Jensen Chalk in last year's Rotax Grand Finals Micromax event. We'll have a lot of hard work to do. We've also got a lot of hard work to do, but look at Josh Cook coming across here onto the side of Austin Oman. But Rosa taking second place. Rosa then went for the move. Cook up the inside. That was an aggressive move into Village du Technopark. But then Cook grabbed the lead, but it wasn't quite over yet.
On a eu vraiment une très 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 belle fin de course entre Cook et son adversaire direct, à savoir Rosa. Il est revenu, Rosa derrière. Il a pris ensuite le meilleur sur Oman. Et vous voyez ici le dépassement de Rosa sur Oman. Et ensuite, il a mis la pression, mais Cook n'a jamais cédé. Il a tenté dans le dernier tour de passer au freinage du Technopark, mais finalement Cook, qui était un petit peu large, a finalement pu revenir et couper la trajectoire et s'imposer de façon autoritaire face à Dominique Rosa. Oman termine 3e et Ava Lawrence termine en 4e position. Et comme l'expliquait Henry, on va se retrouver avec une 3e ligne entièrement féminine avec notamment Atiga Mir et Ava Lawrence.
So as you watch Josh Cook take the checkered flag, it's time that we hear from some of the people that make this coverage possible. It's time to take a quick commercial break. Before we do, can I remind all drivers in the paddock that at 5:45 local time, we will have the drivers' presentation. Please go to the pre-grid at 5:45 for the drivers' presentation after the next 3 races, which come after this commercial break.
Why do you come here? Is this your career?
Or is it all about fun? A chance to get away and leave it all behind?
Or do you chase your personal best? Challenging yourself over and over again. Why do you come here?
Maybe you're here to collect moments. Good ones. And not so good ones.
Where you can't afford mistakes. Because you want that victory. It's all about this one moment when the hard work finally pays off.
This is the place that brings us closer to the people who share our story. Whoever we are.
Whatever we're here for. Racing is who we are.
3 races to go today. 3 heat races to go. Just want to remind all drivers, all pilotes, and we will do this in English and in French, that at the end of the last heat race at 5:45, we know it's a long and hot day, we have the drivers' presentation. All drivers to gather at the pre-grid shortly after 5:30. Drivers to gather at the pre-grid at 5:30 to begin the drivers' presentation. All drivers to attend at 5:45. There is a raffle afterwards, including a €10,000 voucher from Rotax that one driver will win. That driver must be present at the time. It will take place directly at the end of the driver parade. If you want the chance to win a voucher for up to €10,000 for a Rotax product, and both the quads, the Ski-Doos, and the other off-road vehicles that Rotax BRP produce, then you need to be at the driver parade.
Allez, avant de retrouver les 3 dernières courses de qualification de cet après-midi dans la catégorie senior, on vous rappelle qu'à partir de 5h45, eh bien, il y aura la parade des pilotes, la présentation des pilotes. Il faudra se retrouver du côté de la pré-grille à partir de 5h30 pour le début de la présentation, le début de la parade à 6h moins le quart. Pour l'ensemble des pilotes de ce week-end. Et puis juste après, eh bien, il y aura un tirage au sort avec la possibilité de gagner un chèque de 10 000 € pour cette participation. Et il faudra bien évidemment que le pilote soit présent. S'il n'est pas présent, il ne pourra pas gagner ce chèque de 10 000 €. Voilà, on est parti pour la mise en place de la première de ces 3 dernières courses de la catégorie senior. Elle concerne le groupe B, opposé au groupe F.
Well, drama already. Nolan Lamare, Matej Radenkovic, Sver Uben, the top 3 starters, but the driver due to start this race from 4th position, Paul Grissel, did not get off the grid. Has he subsequently got off the grid? He may have done, I'm not sure, but at the moment Paul Grissel is not out there. I'm having a look to see. I don't think Grissel is going to make it. There he is. Oh, disaster for Paul Grissel. Out of the race before it begins. The rest of the top 10 will be Simon Perigny, then Alexander Limari, Hamza Al-Fayez, Antoine Mailer, Patrick Donitza, Daniel Hausworth, then Lascalier, Hoche, Pinto, Aim, Hagenut, Vuo, Cavataris, Falk, and the rest. And there's a big gap on the outside of row 2 where Paul Grissel, the driver for KPR, should be, but isn't.
Allez, le peloton qui se rapproche de la ligne de départ avec cette information. Paul Grissel qui devait s'élancer de la 4e position de la grille et malheureusement n'a pas pu sortir de la pré-grille et il va donc devoir regarder ses petits camarades de jeu s'expliquer. Oula, on a un pilote là qui est très très large dans l'herbe. Heureusement, il a pu contrôler le retour en piste et pour l'instant, on a Nolan Lemeret et Matej Radenkovic qui sont, me semble-t-il, aux avant-postes. Avec Sver Uben, me semble-t-il même, qui a pris peut-être la 2e position. C'est Sver Uben qui est en 2e position au niveau de cette entame de course. 10 tours à parcourir.
Have to say, Sver Uben taking advantage fully. The one driver that didn't take advantage there really was Alexandra Lemaier in Cut 402, who was due to move up to 4th position on the grid in the absence of Grissel. He has dropped back a couple of positions. Further back in the pack, there was a collision going into the Curve des Duchons, and I saw a chain guard come flying off one cart. It was the Fu driver's entry, Diego Tricagnesi, the Italian driver. So those very, very smartly liveried black and electric blue machines. Well, Triconace has got a side pod missing. It wasn't a chain guard, it was an entire side pod. So, I mean, I know I love my retro karting as much as the next man, but this is not a retro event. We do need side pods, and sadly, Triconace will have to retire to the pit lane. Obviously, the point standings will adjust themselves as the races progress, but Lamare leading.
Le Moret, c'est toujours lui qui est aux commandes, mais par contre derrière ça a bougé puisque Simon Perigny a pris le meilleur sur Sver Huben au freinage de la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf, et on retrouve deux Français aux avant-postes face à deux pilotes belges, puisque en troisième position on retrouve Sver Huben et derrière lui Mateja Radenkovic qui est en train de mettre la pression pour rester dans le top 3. Alors attention devant Nolan Lemeret qui semble être en mesure de creuser un petit écart. Ouais, ça commence à se matérialiser assez concrètement pour Nolan Lemeret qui est pour l'instant à l'abri d'un quelconque retour, alors que derrière ça continue de s'expliquer entre Huben, Radenkovic, Alfaiez et Donica.
Now this is significant for two drivers not even in this race. Ethan Jeff Hall and Lewis Gilbert, with Lamare leading and Perigny in second. They would obviously, because they have completed all 5 races at the end of this, they would move up to first and second in the points standings. Ethan Jeff Hall and Lewis Gilbert would still be third and fourth without having done their last race yet. So realistically, Nolan Lamare is pretty much the only driver that could potentially stop either Jeff Hall or Gilbert from starting their superheats on pole position. Because we have 108 drivers in senior Rotax, there will be 3 superheats. The driver that finishes top of the intermediate classification will start from pole position in Superheat A. The driver who is second in points in the intermediate classification will start on pole position for Superheat B. The driver who is third in points will start pole position for Superheat C, and then so on. So fourth in points will be the outside of the front row for Superheat A and on back. So all to play for, 3 pole positions to fight for. At the moment, it looks like it could be Lamare, Jeff Hall and Gilbert taking those pole positions, but we're only on that 5 out of 10 in this, the first round of heat, the first heat in the last round of heats. For seniors, if you get what I mean, with Lamare extending his advantage over Perigny by 4 tenths of a second. Huben on your screen there, defending against Radenkovic, Alfaiez and Donica.
Ouais, toujours la grosse bagarre pour les accessites devant pour Nolan Lemeret et Simon Perigny. Ça semble être plutôt bien engagé, même si nous ne sommes que à la mi-course. Mais derrière, pour Sver Huben, c'est compliqué parce que Radenkovic met la pression et Alfaiez est en train de revenir également en emmenant dans son sillage un Patrick Donica, lui aussi prêt à en découdre pour aller chercher des points supplémentaires, puisque comme le rappelait Henry, les positions au terme de ces manches de qualification détermineront les places pour les super hits, et donc les 3 premiers partiront, les 3 premiers du classement intermédiaire au terme de cette journée, partiront chacun de la pole position de leur course respective. Donc pour l'instant ça sent bon pour Nolan Lemeret et Simon Perigny, et le troisième on verra qui ce sera, mais ça pourrait bien être Ethan Jeff Hall qui pourrait lui aussi partir de la pole position de sa super hit concernée. Allez, Sver Huben qui semble maintenant accélérer un petit peu la cadence, qui a décroché très légèrement de son pare-choc arrière, Radenkovic qui est revenu à la faveur d'une trajectoire un peu large du pilote belge, et Alfaiez pour l'instant qui n'arrive pas à trouver l'ouverture et qui se fait déborder par Donica qui a pris le meilleur sur Alfaiez, et j'ai l'impression que on a également Antoine Mallet qui a également fait sauter le verrou Alfaiez.
There is a great battle coming into Virage to Techno Park. You can see the Donitsa, the KRK racing entry, making several moves there. And he is now ahead of Marla. Alfayez drops to 7th. Yam Pinto is next in line. The Dream Racing entry from Israel. Then Titouan Lascalier. Georgios Kafantaris from Greece is next. He is there in 10th position, followed by Daniel Housworth, Alexandra Aim, and then the bright green TB kart of the Netherlands, Mitch Heynert. Sver Uben, the GK, well, Le Belgique, and the GKS Lemons team have been the makers of many Belgian wafts. That's wafts, not waffles, although I'm sure they also make waffles. But the Belgian waft behind that GKS My Lemons powered cart is looking strong, and Uben at the moment would be 5th in the point standings. Oh, and there's Yam Pinto getting a freight train going through the final couple of corners. Pinto with the black crash helmet on the outside, losing a spot there. He's down behind Titouan Lascalier and Hamza Alfayez, but we've got a battle for the race lead. Perigny has caught Lemori on lap 9 out of 10.
Et attention entre les deux Français de ne pas commettre l'erreur qui pourrait leur être fatale, parce qu'on l'a vu dans les précédentes courses, si la manœuvre de dépassement n'est pas correctement exécutée, ça peut se retourner contre vous. Certes, il y a de l'écart entre les deux premiers et Sver Uben et Padenkovic, mais attention, il faut quand même rester vigilant, ne pas commettre l'irréparable, d'autant plus que pour l'instant les deux Français ont fait une course très lucide, très rapide aussi, mais pour l'instant c'est le dernier tour entre Lemeray et Perigny qui va aller chercher la victoire. Pour l'instant, Lemeray est toujours aux avant-postes. Il commence à fermer les portes parce que Simon Perigny, lui, il aurait bien envie d'aller chercher la victoire. Et attention de ne pas commettre l'irréparable, parce que derrière, Sver Uben n'est pas très loin et ça pourrait être une situation qui pourrait lui profiter.
Yes, it's Perigny really working Nolan Lemari hard here. Lemari defending onto the banking. Perigny tries to cross over the undercut, and watch Sver Uben closing in. I think it's a bit late for Sver Uben to do anything about Nolan Lemari. Lemari defends. Perigny's going to try the crossover coming through Virage to Techno Park. Sver Uben is there. Lemari on the anchors going into Virage to Paddock. Now accelerates out to the final corner, and it's a 3 wide blanket finish almost. And Lemari wins from Perigny and Uben. Behind them, Radenkovic takes 4th from Donitsa, Lescalier. Then Marla, Alfayez in 8th. Pinto and Kafantaris round out your top 10. Well, there's 2 Frenchmen beating 2 Belgians in that one. Poland, and then 2 more Frenchmen. And then Jordan's Hamza Alfayez. And Israel's Yam Pinto next in line. Greece, the Netherlands, Austria, and the Netherlands again. Behind them with Kafantaris, Heynert, Housworth, Falk, and once again, Mehdi Lassoue in kart 458. Now, I am not sure what Mehdi Lassoue got excluded for in qualifying, but they must be kicking themselves in that kart 45 outfit, because that Sodi kart of number 458 Mehdi Lassoue has been like an absolute rocket, has to be said. We lost Adriano Vera and also Alexander Aim in that race. Oscar Lambert, let's not forget that's a brand new kart for Oscar Lambert after he wrote his original chassis off in heat number 1. Here is a look there. Lemari coming across a little bit there, and I have to say that Perigny and Radenkovic had to be a little bit wary, but into the turn 3 area, Lemari was able to escape, but Perigny made his way past Uben and then set off after Lemari. Now Uben he's not been the quickest driver, but he's been very smart, and he was there holding on to 3rd position. At the moment, this is what the points table looks like. Lemari 223, Perigny 186, Jeff Hall 182, Gilbert 180, Uben 174, Matthew Higgins 167, Jaden Tien 165, Arthur Roban 163. That is the number 439 cart. Briefly, you saw on your screen going past Jan Pinto. The cart management entry of Titouan Lasciale. As this is where Perigny really tried to work Lamari over on the final lap, but Lamari wasn't having any of it. The RM Concepts team have been very, very quick in all the classes they're competing in this week. So, Lamari wins. But who is on the grid with Jen Wade? And that'll be next.
So nice and cool in here. 3, 2, 1, perform. One of the partners here at the RMC International Trophy. Come in, have a look. Hi, Emily.
Hello.
Hey. I just thought I'd show everybody around what's happening.
What's happening?
It's so nice and cool here.
Yeah, we are very lucky. We got air conditioning. So just now we got George. George is doing a warm up.
Okay, we'll move in a bit. See George.
So this is George. So George is in the micro. So he's doing a warm up and in cognitive and mental part. So we are taking care of the drivers during this weekend since the beginning, before the race, and after the race. Sorry. We are doing the recovery. For example, here we got Christophe. So Christophe is doing the recovery. So this is the end of the day. So we're gonna do the infrared sauna, the cryotherapy. We're gonna do the cryotherapy for the legs, and we're gonna do a massage as well. So we are taking care of the drivers about what they eat, what they need during the race. How they manage the stress, how they sleep, and we are doing everything since the beginning, physical and mental part, to the end of the day, the recovery.
Okay, and how important is this? I know it's really hot, 31 degrees now. I just checked my phone. How important is what you're doing now?
The recovery is as important as the warm-up, because if you don't do a good recovery, you are not as efficient as you can the day after. And when it's warm outside, you really need to cool down the temperature of the body. So the sauna infrared, we just do few minutes, but after the cryotherapy is just there. It's a cold bath, 4 degrees. It's very nice to cool down the temperature of the body. And that's very nice as well for the muscles, because like this we eliminate the toxins, and after you don't have pain on the muscle the day after.
How many of the drivers actually come in and ask you for help while you're here?
This weekend, we got 2 drivers for the full weekend, and after we got some drivers, they are coming, they ask me because they have a pain on their back, or they need to cool down their body, or they need to drink something, because we're taking care of the micronutrition as well. We can give them specific oligo-elements or specific like medicine, but natural, and we give them as well the drink for the day, because it's very important to drink, and we give them energetic drink during the day and drink for recovery at the end of the day.
And of course education. I guess we'll have a look what's down the other. Oh, is that the sauna down the other end?
Sauna, just there.
There's George.
Vas-y George, tu recommences? So this machine is very good to work on vision, on reaction as well. So when before going to race, before going on the track, it's very interesting to do that. And we use all these machines as well to train the drivers, because we got a center in the Alps in France, and we use a lot of technology, a lot of science to define the profile of each driver and to adapt the accompaniment after. So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
And down this end, and of course, anyone that's looking, 3, 2, 1 perform on the website.
Yeah.
We have a quick look down here. Oh, it's so nice and cool in here. Okay, so we've got a little sauna there.
We use it only at the end of the day. Yeah. So it's infrared sauna, so it's not as hot as classical sauna. So we use it at 52 degrees, and after we use the cold bath just there.
Ooh.
So this is very cold, and we got jet like this. It's colder.
Yeah.
It's very nice to remove the warmth of the muscles.
And if people are interested, like to do something, I don't know, maybe in the winter or to learn, even pre-season, what should they do? Should they just contact, go on the website?
Yeah, they can contact us. After we organize a meeting with Xavier Feuillet, it's the manager of 321 Perform. Like this, he can define what you need and how many days you need. And after, we are open 7 days a week, so every day, all the year.
Yeah. So it could actually be good for a team.
Yeah.
I saw that Team France were there before the grand finals last year in this beautiful castle or something in the mountains. So people can actually contact you. But here, you're getting lots of information out to the drivers. So we're going to run. We're going to watch the next race. Emily, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be back. Actually, Diana and I will be back to have a little bit of a massage. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Thank you.
It's fantastic. Bye, George.
Welcome back. Well, there was a nice little guided tour of the 321 Performance Centre here in the paddock. I got to say, that ice bath looked quite nice. The jet bath, well, I mean, whatever it was, hot, cold, it looked very nice anyway. Here we go then with the penultimate heat of the 2024 Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy. And it is Denmark's Knud Nielsen who starts on pole position with Ethan Jeff Hall alongside him. Then Hugo Martinello and Macaulay Bishop on row 2. Jaden Thien and Caden McQueen are on row 3. Elia Papachena and Lucas Schlegel row 4. George Nassar and Julian Kovacevic on row 5. Ugo Grasto and Tino Sidler row 6. Ethan Thorne and Lizzie May Mentia on row number 7. Tom Cave and Armand Hamilton row 8. Nicky Gauci and Anthony Bio row 9. Thomas Ibsen and Theo Potier on row 10. Alex Duncan and Alexis Storkson. Now, talking about the Tour de France, tomorrow the Tour de France is climbing the Col de Torini. We've got our own Col here. His name's Col in Varshny, and he starts behind Storkson and in front of the notorious BIGI Alessandro Biggi. Then it's Emmanuel Iodakis and Hugo Paget, followed by Sasha Aim, Matej Vikor, Jan Schmidt. And as I look down the order, the remaining qualifiers: Romain Bonetto, Jordan Morris, Tillian Fernandez, Jamie Burt, Fortini Theodorou, Philippe Panier, and Adish Mehta. Not all drivers. Hugo Paget, not out there in the number 409 kart. That would be the karting pro entry. Now, I'm not sure if that is a mechanical issue, or a driver issue. We hope that Hugo is okay. And, Eric Salis, this could be a really significant race. Ethan Jeff Hall could put himself in an unbeatable position in terms of qualifying for Superheat A on pole position. Knud Nielsen has 2 wins, a second, and an exclusion. So he is a lot further down the order. I think Macaulay Bishop also had an exclusion yesterday for something, oil in a place it shouldn't have been, or I can't remember quite what it was. But he's also on a recovery mission. And Caden McQueen, well, after a retirement this morning, Caden will be firing on all cylinders as well. But the man they all have to beat in the points is Ethan Jeff Hall. The man they all have to beat on the track is Knut Nielsen.
Allez, les pilotes qui sont en train de se replacer là cette fois dans le dernier tiers du tracé avec Knut Nielsen et Ethan Jeff Hall en première ligne. Ça va être les 2 hommes à battre bien évidemment, et Ugo Martinello fait partie de ces prétendants à la victoire, lui qui va s'élancer depuis de la 2e ligne de la grille de départ. C'est parti pour cette avant-dernière course de l'après-midi avec le poleman qui reste de façon autoritaire en première position, mais qui se fait déborder à la sortie du virage par le numéro 487, c'est-à-dire Ethan Jeff Hall qui est passé. Par contre, je regardais derrière si Ugo Martinello avait lui aussi profité de ce bon départ, mais j'ai peur qu'il ait perdu une position, le Français.
Well, a good start. Ethan Jeff Hall making the early move to pass Knut Nielsen, who comes back up the inside of Jeff Hall, going into the banking. Knut Nielsen, the RS competition team, I think it's safe to say they've got a point to prove today. Knut Nielsen is driving the wheels off that thing as he's got Jeff Hall, Bishop. Here comes Jeff Hall back to the inside, and Bishop trying to go around the outside of Nielsen, and Bishop's going to be careful because Martinello is there in 4th, but at the end of lap number 1, it's Ethan Jeff Hall, Nielsen, Bishop, Martinello, then Jaden Tien, who won his first race this morning. So as things stand, Ethan Jeff Hall would be on 232 points, Lamori 223, Tien 201, Perigny and Nielsen would be the rest of the top 5. Bishop would be 7th in points.
Allez, pour l'instant, on va laisser de côté le classement intermédiaire. Attention, il y a une attaque à l'intérieur et ça change encore entre Bishop et Nielsen pour la 2e position. Et tout ça fait les affaires de Jeff Hall, pour l'instant, puisqu'il est en train de creuser l'écart derrière. On est en train de s'empoigner comme des chiffonniers, et de fait, eh bien, le leader, lui, a champ libre devant lui. Voilà, Knut Nielsen, et c'est Ugo Martinello qui est passé en 3e position devant Bishop.
Yes, indeed. Now Martinello has to deal with the attentions of Macaulay Bishop, Jaden Tien, Caden McQueen, Elia Papachena, Lucas Schlegel. Oh, Bishop almost on the grass as Tien goes around the outside to take over 4th position. They are lining up behind Martinello. Meanwhile, Ethan Jeff Hall has turned round and waved sayonara to the rest of the field. He leads by 0.7 of a second, and there is nothing Knut Nielsen can do about the pace of Ethan Jeff Hall. And there goes the move. Jaden Tien breaks the defence of Hugo Martinello, and now I fear the floodgates are going to open. There goes Bishop. Oh, Martinello's going to get squeezed like a zit if he's not careful. No, he gets back on. Oh, there's one of the Kraft Motorsport carts getting Lucas Schlegel losing positions. McQueen now 6th, followed by Papachena, Grasjo, Nassar, Schlegel, then Tino Sidler, Nicky Gauci, the Maltese Falcon is there in 12th, followed by Armand Hamilton, Kovacevic, and Lizzie May Mentier.
Ethan Jeff Hall toujours aux commandes avec une petite marge d'avance sur Knut Nielsen. Derrière, on a Tien et Bishop au coude à coude pour le gain de la 3e position. Et un petit peu plus loin derrière, Martinello, McQueen et Papachena qui sont là aussi roue dans roue. Mais attention, parce que derrière eux, eh bien, le peloton est en train de revenir vu qu'on se frictionne à chaque virage quasiment. Et de fait, eh bien, on permet aux poursuivants de refaire leur retard à l'image de ce qui vient de se passer encore une fois dans le virage du paddock où ça a été un petit peu chaotique là entre Martinello et McQueen et Papacena. Donc attention, ça c'est loin d'être validé et Martinello qui est obligé d'ouvrir la porte parce que devant lui, eh bien McQueen a fait un petit peu les à côté de la piste.
Well, Caden McQueen has been trying to diagnose that issue with that KR Sport Cosmic chassis. It looks like he may have found the answer as he moves into P5 in front of Martinello, Papacena, Nassar. In fact, Papacena has gone through. Oh, somebody over the grass. Oh, that was a huge moment for Martinello. And behind them, I think that was Tino Sidler in the number 436 cart that was going bouncing over the grass as well. Luca Schlegel has also managed to get past this group. Here we go then. This is for about 10th, 11th and 12th place on back as they cross the line. This is George Nassar in 8th, Tino Sidler in 9th, Hugo Grasto in 10th. Hamilton is 11th. Oh, Hamilton getting a nose cone on the inside of Grasto's rear bumper, and are they all going to somehow squeeze? Well, the Maltese Falcon gets his wings clipped there as Nicky Gauci falls back a few positions, but somehow they all manage to stay on the track. And up at the front, Jaden Tien and Macaulay Bishop are now closing in on Knut Nielsen.
Et Jaden Tien qui vient de réaliser le meilleur tour en course, 54-233. Ils sont en train de se rapprocher des deux hommes de tête. Est-ce qu'il va rester assez de tours puisque nous allons rentrer dans le 7e tour maintenant. On a parcouru 6 tours jusqu'à présent et Tien qui est en train de porter son effort et c'est désormais Bishop qui réalise le meilleur tour en course, 53-942. Pour Bishop, pardon. Caden McQueen est en 5e position, Papacena est 6e et avec cette figure qu'on a vue tout à l'heure, avec ce kart qui allait dans l'herbe, et bien malheureusement Hugo Martinello a perdu 11 places. Hugo Martinello qui est désormais au 14e rang.
Now green flag waving at post number 1. Can't quite see if anyone's going up. Well, Romain Bonetto has gone missing off the lap charts. Trying to see where Romain, but he may have been the cause of the yellow flag. Oh, here we go. Out through turns 9 and 10. This is a huge dice going down the Cheminot Bouffe straight. And oh, there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on into there as the 4-7, who is that? Is that the Armand Hamilton? Yeah, this is the battle for about 9th place on back. Hamilton has it. Grasto, Sidler, Kovacevic, Martinello and Vajny all want it. A little bit further up, Macaulay Bishop sets a new fastest lap of the race, and both he and Tien are not making as many inroads into Knud Nielsen as I thought they might. I have to say the RS competition kart is very quick indeed, and he's closing in on race leader Ethan Jeff Hall. So Knud Nielsen, with the bit between his teeth and a point to prove, is driving very, very well indeed.
Allez, Nielsen avec qui il va rester 2 tours maintenant pour tenter de revenir inquiéter Jeff Hall pour le gain de la victoire de cette dernière manche qualificative. Mais attention, derrière, Bishop et Tien sont très rapides et Bishop est de plus en plus pressant sur Jaden Tien, qui va devoir s'employer pour conserver sa 3e position. Un petit peu plus loin, on retrouve Papacena et Schlegel qui sont toujours à la bagarre avec Georges Nasser, le numéro 431, un petit peu plus loin en 8e position. Et juste derrière, Armand Hamilton et Hugo Grasto sont dans le peloton de furieux qui s'explique. Les positions qui changent quasiment à chaque demi-tour.
Here we go, lap 9 out of 10. We watch Jaden Tien and Macaulay Bishop running in 3rd and 4th place for the Dan Holland Racing Team. Now they're beginning to close in on Knud Nielsen. I have to say, Knud Nielsen is also closing in on race leader Ethan Jeff Hall. Jeff Hall looks over his shoulder, heads down through turn number 1. The Virage du Restaurant, and out of turn number 2. Nielsen is not close enough to make any sort of passing attempt. This is the final lap through the Curb de Duchamp, Two Trees Corner. Tien and Bishop, teammates, stay line astern. There's a big gap behind this group to Elia Papachena in 5th position, McQueen in 6th, then Schlegel, Nassar, Hamilton and Grastio. But I have to say, I can't see the top 4 positions changing. In fact, I can't see the top 5 positions changing because Papachena is a full second in front of McQueen and 3.5 seconds behind Bishop.
Allez, c'est la victoire maintenant pour Ethan Jeff Hall devant Knud Nielsen et Jaden Chin. En 4e position, on va retrouver McKinley Bishop, Elia Papachena est 5e, McQueen, Schlegel, Nasser, Hamilton et finalement Ugo Martinello qui revient dans le top 10 sur la ligne d'arrivée, sur la ligne de chronométrage. Ugo Martinello qui avait perdu 11 positions et qui est remonté à la 10e place, mais il va perdre pas mal dans la hiérarchie au niveau du classement intermédiaire, Martinello, et il va devoir regarder un petit peu les grilles de départ pour demain parce qu'il aura une position bien moins valorisante que celle à laquelle il pouvait prétendre.
Well, by my somewhat rudimentary calculations, you get 50 points for a race win. And Ethan Jeff Hall has 232 points. Lewis Gilbert, who goes in the next race, has 180 points. That is a deficit of 52 points. So, provided that everything goes smoothly for Ethan Jeff Hall through post-race scrutineering, I believe we have just seen our overall intermediate classification leader at the end of the heat races in senior Rotax. And, the last 2 senior Rotax International Trophy champions, Ethan Jeff Hall and Nolan Lamore, sit at the top of the standings. Let's have a look back at the highlights. Ethan Jeff Hall making use of the ruling that track limits aren't being enforced through turn number 2 on the opening lap and the opening lap only. He makes full use of that and takes the lead. Nielsen did fight back, however, but then Ethan Jeff Hall made sure of it going into the Virage de Paddock. Macaulay Bishop went for the move on P2, but to his credit, Knud Nielsen on the outside held firm. That then dropped Bishop back behind Hugo Martinello. Martinello forcing Bishop onto the grass. He then recovered eventually past Martinello, but when he hooked up with Jaden Tien, his teammate, to try and catch Knud Nielsen, they could not. I like that one. They could not. I thought that myself. Isn't that good? Right, over the nut then there was Martinello went off, and so did Tino Sidler, and nobody could catch Ethan Jeff Hall, who will start provisionally tomorrow's Superheat A from pole.
Just quickly. 1. Kiko, I thought I might find an Italian on the grid. How are you?
Yeah, all good. What about you?
I'm good, good. How's it going?
Quite good, we can say that.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2 hits quite good, 2 hits not really good, but now I'll try to do my best as usual.
What's happening now with the points then? How does it work? You need the points to get in the superheat?
Yeah, I think we need to have more points as possible to enter into the superheat.
Yeah.
And then the point of the superheat goes with the heat, so then you can enter into the final.
Ooh. So it all comes down to this race?
Yeah, to this race is really important.
It's really important, so you need to finish?
I'll try to finish P10, top 10 at least.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the competition here in Le Mans? How is it this year?
Really good level, really hard. Also because it's my first year in senior here, so for me it's quite hard.
Mm-hmm. But you're, of course, one of the best drivers, I guess, in juniors, in Italy. In the past, you race international. How difficult is it when you go up to seniors then and you turn up here?
really difficult because like also in senior there's a lot of more drivers, but like the competition is really more hard. But because like there's a lot of different ages, so like someone has more experience than someone else. That's really difficult.
Okay, and it's hot.
Yeah, really hot today.
I think it's hotter in Italy.
No, I think here.
Really?
Yeah.
We've got a nice breeze.
Yeah.
It's okay. All right. Good luck. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you before. Sorry. That was a close one.
So one race to go. There's number 429 of Moxie's Bouillon. And will he turn that position into gold? Bouillon? Well, he's starting a little bit further down the pack. There is the 465 cart. Jen is with and chatting to our only all-female crew.
Also here, Julia, Senior. I think you're the only... Are you?
Yes.
Okay, female team. We've had female boss. We've got a female scrutineer, Sissy, from Belgium. How's it going?
It's going fine.
Yeah.
I've never driven here before, so
yeah. How difficult is this track, especially when it's so hot?
I can handle the heat, so I get really hot, and when I'm done driving, I just burn up.
Yeah. So, I guess it's not so bad. I'm looking, and I'm not going to talk too loud, but there's a few boys behind you.
Yeah.
There's a few other girls around on the grid.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think? When you come here, does it give you a bit of a measure on where you're at with the competition at international level?
I have driven international, and it's not like in my own country, because in my own country it's not as difficult as it is here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you think maybe because there's more guys with more experience, of course, it's a senior grid, it's not going to be easy anyway, as you know.
No, some of them is also like 2 times my age, and it's just...
How old are you?
I'm 14.
14.
I just got into senior.
Okay, you're a game lady, but I really give you credit for being here.
Thank you.
Also, Julia, what's it like? I've seen you before at the Euro Trophy, a few different races.
Yeah, I'm also on the track, but with the team, not as a mechanic. So I'm doing it for her for the first time. So it's quite exciting for me. But I was also driving kayak years ago, so I never lost. I never lost the karting, so it's quite good for me too.
And what are you normally doing with the team? You organise everything for them. Usually, are you there supporting them?
Yes, supporting them, but my husband is one of the advisors at the RC competition, so I'm just with him and looking for some parts and just helping.
Maybe she's going to be the number 1 mechanic now in the team. Robert Schlunsen, you might have a new mechanic. We've got 3 minutes, so I'm going to let you go. Good luck. Great to see you go here, and I'm going to get off the grid. Thank you so much. Bye.
Well, there's a great interview there with Sina Paish Ornball, who will start mid-grid there, and her mechanic Julia Leopold. The 27 on the top of her crasher, but that is the race number that she uses in Denmark. Now we look up the other, that's Cem Argun, the Austrian driver, although he's a Turkish background is Cem. The number 497 on your screen now. Right. So there is Robbie Stordeur, his younger brother Lucas Stordeur, had a mechanical problem just before the start of his Minimax race. So we're hoping that the Bouvan Power team, there is a power in that kart now. There's that number 466 machine. That would be the Kraft Motorsport driver Hannes Uberfeld, a late entry. Scotland's David Mitchell sadly had to withdraw, so Uberfeld, Mitchell driving for Kraft Motorsport, so Uberfeld filled out the gap. There's number 412 car. Kart management, they've got that nice sort of, well, it looks honeycomb, but if you're of a certain age and British and you see that shape, all you think of is Blockbusters. Can I have a pee, please, Bob? There is the Sonic kart of number 484. Hugo Brun, and the somewhat familiar livery of the 475 kart, Matthew Higgins. There's a Welsh flag there. The dragon is roaring. Trafeglois his own Matthew Higgins. Go on then, boy Bach. Have a go at this one then, my lad. Right. Lewis Gilbert and Arthur Roban will lead the field before Matthew Higgins and Tom Bio on row number 2. Hugo Brun and Tom Langlois on row 3. Elio Gilter and Mario Sidler, row 4. Christian Baumgartner and Kiko Fracassi, whose family own a wonderful Italian restaurant, I believe, in Venice. Hint, hint, next time I come in Venice. Mwah. Hannes Uberfeld and Tommy van der Stroys are next. Josh Turnbull and Callum Bradshaw on the following row. Robbie Stodeur and Jot van Wiek. Then Cem Argun, Antoine Taron, Paul Hamburg. Hamburg, the only Estonian driver here this year. Maxence Bouillon, Senior Pais Orenbol, followed by Ais Sebi, Thomas Palette, Benjamin Vassou. Romania's only representative this week, Alexandru Volta, followed by Rafael Benatuil, Totish Balash, and the only Saudi Arabian driver here this week, Laith Mumina, followed by Yagish Topal from Turkey, Naim Bongi, Matteo Bordier, Kerim Sulyak, Patrick Slipovic, Kuwait's Jabba Al-Saba, then Jack Maidment, who's not from Kuwait, who's from the UK, and Ruben Morel. 36 drivers, and I've got to say, all 36 have gone out. Really good stuff. For the final time today, Eric, why don't you do us the honour of bringing them to the line and getting this go-kart race underway?
Merci Henry, merci. Voilà, c'est la dernière course de l'après-midi pour ces manches qualificatives avec cette dernière course qui correspond au groupe C et E de la catégorie senior avec Lewis Gilbert et Arthur Robin qui seront sur la première ligne. Allez, on est aux ordres de la direction de course pour valider ce départ. Allez, pour une fois du premier coup, ça serait parfait. Ça semble être le cas. Et voilà, c'est parti avec Lewis Gilbert qui est pour l'instant toujours à l'intérieur avec... à ses côtés, voilà, en deuxième position, il a pris cette place. Arthur Robin, il ne s'est pas laissé prendre et surprendre par Matthew Higgins, le 475, qui est en troisième position, alors que derrière, à l'arrière du peloton, à la toute fin du peloton, c'était un petit peu tendu, mais tout est rentré dans l'ordre. Oula, ça tape un petit peu là, dans les 20e ou 25e positions, et vous le voyez, ça a créé un trou là sur le plateau. Pour l'heure, pas de problème pour Lewis Gilbert qui entame cette dernière manche qualificative aux commandes de la course.
Certainly a good start, and here comes Higgins. Whoa! Higgins sending one in from a different postcode there to pass Arthur Robin for second, and have to say it was a good clean start. There were two karts trying to piggyback over each other going through the Maison Blanche S's. It was Antoine Taron and I believe Maxence Bouillon. A spin, and who was that? That's the 411 kart.
Tom Biou qui est parti à la faute. Visiblement, il a été poussé très en colère, très énervé. Il a donné un coup de pied sur son kart. Et évidemment, on peut comprendre la frustration. On n'a pas vu exactement ce qui s'était passé, mais malheureusement, il est parti à la faute. Et là, forcément, ça coûte cher pour Tom Biou.
Now, I didn't see the accident itself, but certainly the NASA panel on that kart is flat. Bio is helmet off, and the NASA panel is down. I can't see where the back of the seat is either. Bio is sat in the marshal post, helmet off. I hope he's okay. He looks pretty angry to me, but it looks like an angry glare, not a I'm in pain glare. Meanwhile, back at the front, it is, well, Gilbert and Higgins were drawn in the same group. They were both. This is Group C and Group E. I believe that Higgins and Gilbert were in Group C, so they're in the same race every time. And I have to say, they've been doing a wonderful job of working together. Like I said, like good Celtic cousins should. To pull away. At the moment, Gilbert would be second in points. Higgins would be fourth in points. So as things stand, Higgins would start alongside Ethan Jeff Hall on the front row of Superheat A. Jaden Tien would start alongside Lewis Gilbert on the front row of Superheat B. And Arthur Roban, who's fourth in this race on that red Gillard chassis, he would start alongside Nolan Lamore on the front row of Superheat C. Oh, Higgins having a little nose up the inside. Matthew Higgins takes the race lead away from, we've had, in the first race just a moment ago, we had the last two champions, Nolan Lamore and Ethan Jeff Hall together. These are the last two runners-up of this event. Higgins and Gilbert having a good old ding-dong at the front of the field.
Allez, on a vu Higgins qui prenait le meilleur sur Lewis Gilbert dans ce tour à l'entrée du virage des deux arbres. Mais attention parce que derrière, Tom Langlois se fait très pressant à son tour sur Lewis Gilbert. Va-t-il pouvoir passer à l'intérieur peut-être du premier virage? Non, la trajectoire est fermée par Gilbert. Mais en tout cas, c'est très très chaud là dans ce quatuor de tête. Et attention parce que Arthur Robin en 4e position pourrait bien profiter des passes d'armes entre les pilotes qui sont devant lui pour gagner des positions. On l'a déjà vu sur les courses précédentes et certainement qu'il faut garder un petit peu de sang-froid de la part d'Arthur Robin et surtout maîtriser ses attaques pour Lewis Gilbert maintenant et Tom Langlois respectivement 2e et 3e derrière Matthew Higgins.
Yes, indeed. On to lap 5 out of 10. Higgins is not defending, but he's certainly not pulling away. As we look at Langlois and Roban in 3rd and 4th position. Tom Langlois with the famous colours of the Jan Darms Racing team. Going through there in 3rd place, the number 455 car, Darms Racing. Haven't got a huge amount of drivers here, but the ones they do have are very, very quick indeed. Arthur Roban in the number 477. Arthur has been very, very consistent in this event. 2 top 15 finishers in the last 2 years. But Higgins, and this is experience showing. Both Higgins and Gilbert are experienced drivers. They're not battling, they are not trying to slow each other down. Higgins is not defending, and as a result, these 4 karts on our screens are now 1.8 seconds ahead of 5th place driver Tommy van der Stroys, and then Elio Gilter, Mario Sidler, Hugo Brun and Jort van Wyk. Callum Bradshaw having a very quiet international trophy at the moment, but the 2 longest races are tomorrow, and if anyone wants to save their tyres, Callum Bradshaw knows how to save tyres. Now, off camera, there has been a collision, and it looks like there's at least 3 karts involved up at the Virage du Techno Park. We're having a look. The leaders are coming around the banking, and I'm waiting for the marshals to put the yellow flags out. There's a kart on the circuit. Now the yellow flags go out. We are very lucky there that those 4 drivers leading this race are smart, experienced drivers.
There was a yellow flag, but it was just behind the the light. Et voilà, on a retrouvé les 4 pilotes qui sont revenus sur le lieu de l'accrochage où il y avait 3 cartes à évacuer. Heureusement, ça s'est fait très rapidement et on a pu voir que le drapeau jaune avait été brandi au dernier moment, mais il avait été présenté au groupe de tête avec Matthew Higgins, toujours solide leader, Lewis Gilbert en deuxième position et derrière les 2 Français, Tom Langlois et Arthur Robin, qui sont dans le sillage des 2 Britanniques qui patientent pour l'instant, et Elio Gilter est pour l'heure en 5e position. On a donc 3 Français entre la 3e et la 5e position. On va voir, il reste 2 tours maintenant. Il va rester 2 tours à parcourir. Est-ce que Higgins va pouvoir contenir Gilbert? Est-ce que Langlois ou Robin vont trouver l'ouverture? C'est tout le suspense de ces 2 derniers tours.
Now, yes, I have to say that the carts have been completely cleared, and you're right, there was a yellow flag that went out very late, Eric, and please don't think I am the biggest supporter in the world of the Orange Army, the marshalling team, and of course you've got such an experienced marshalling team here at Le Mans. The marshals have had a heck of a day today. It's been roasting, and they're in full fireproof gear out on their posts, so the marshals have had a tough day, and they're so experienced here at Le Mans, but the yellow flag, can't say any different. The yellow flag was very late out there. Luckily, everyone is okay. Meanwhile, whilst I've been ranting and raving, and do love the marshals, the most important people of all, however, the most important person at the moment on track is Matthew Higgins, because he is driving away now from Gilbert and from Langlois as we begin the final lap. Robin, Gilter, Van der Stroys are well behind, but Gilbert still second in points. Higgins would be 4th, so it would be Higgins and Jeff Hall on the front row of the grid for Superheat A tomorrow. And Lewis Gilbert trying to hold off a pair of very competitive Frenchmen.
Et Gilbert là qui utilise toutes les ficelles du métier pour contenir Langlois, peut-être même Robin, parce que il a perdu le contact avec Matthew Higgins. Higgins qui va aller chercher la victoire dans cette dernière manche qualificative de la journée, et Gilbert qui s'emploie évidemment à repousser les attaques, et de fait il a perdu totalement le contact avec le leader. Et derrière, eh bien, on a Elio Gilter qui va terminer à une brillante 5e place en ayant signé le record du tour, 53,766. Ah, ça a été battu à l'instant même par Joshua Turnbull, qui termine en 13e position, mais belle remontée d'Elio Gilter qui était très performant sur la fin de cette course, et donc victoire de Matthew Higgins.
Great drive there, but it's not only Higgins that has given the Dan Holland Racing team a reason to cheer. Josh Turnbull setting the fastest lap of the race. Right there at the end, 53.727. That's one for the record books or the history books. Turnbull, coming to the biggest event of his career, I think, and setting fastest laps against a world-class field. That is something for the Turnbull clan to be happy about. Callum Bradshaw down in 10th position as you look at the results on our screens. Provisionally, the top 8 in points: Jeff Hall, Gilbert, Lamare, Higgins, Tien, Robin, Perigny and Nielsen. Looking down the order there, some of the drivers: Bio, Mumina, Maidment, Taron and Bordier failing to finish as we bring the curtain down on a very intense day of racing. And there was a start. Gilbert making a good start there. Robin getting aggressive. Higgins dives up the inside to take second on the opening lap, and then set about chasing after the Diamond of Dalry, Lewis Gilbert. But behind him it was all going off. Now this is where Anthony Bio here. There's Bio up and over the curb. What happened then? And that was... he sort of came back across and hit the number 477 car of Arthur Robin. I gotta say, I'm not quite sure what Anthony Bio was thinking there, because Robin was on the outside of the track. There was nothing that Robin could do. But Higgins makes the move on Gilbert. Gilbert eventually sort of fades a little bit and has to defend against Tom Langlois. Langlois and Arthur Roban, who was lucky to emerge without any damage from that incident with Bio. As we look at the Bio's cart, and Bio, hands on his hips there, having a look down, he'll be okay. The ambulance crew head around the circuit. Well, I know I will let you have, we'll have a quick announcement for the paddock. Please, at 5:30, in about 20 minutes, could we have all drivers? You'll need to have your race suits and crash helmets with you. Well, no, race suits with you, not crash helmets. Race suits with you. Could you please assemble in the pre-grid area at 5:30? That would be 5:30 pre-grid area for the drivers' parade. All drivers to attend. All drivers to attend. Then we will have the raffle, including brand new Bell crash helmets and a €10,000 Rotax BRP voucher. That comes shortly. And Eric, a fantastic day's racing, but I think in French we need to say thank you to all the officials out there on circuit, including the Orange Army.
Voilà, donc c'est ainsi que se termine cette journée de manche qualificative. On rappelle aux pilotes qu'ils doivent se présenter à partir de 5h30, 17h30 sur la zone de pré-grille en combinaison pour préparer la parade et la présentation des pilotes. On va leur rappeler d'être présents à partir de 5h30. 17h30 donc dans cette zone de la pré-grille. On se retrouve dans quelques minutes et on en profite également pour remercier l'ensemble des commissaires de piste qui ont œuvré tout au long de la journée dans des conditions particulièrement non pas difficiles mais très difficilement supportables avec la chaleur. Merci à vous toutes et à vous tous de votre implication, parce qu'on le dit souvent, ça peut paraître un petit peu on va dire non pas présomptueux mais de la flagonnerie, mais s'il n'y avait pas de commissaire de piste, il n'y aurait pas de compétition. Donc encore une fois, merci à vous.
We will be back on air tomorrow morning at just before 9:30 a.m. local time, where we have the Superheats and the main events to crown the 2024 Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy champions. So, on behalf of Eric Tellis and myself, this has been a 3MK promoted event brought to you by WFR Live TV. The 2024 Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy resumes live tomorrow morning. Don't miss it. Thank you.